Abrázame toda la noche, no nos queda mucho tiempo más. No quiero perder lo que queda. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yeah. No quiero perder lo que queda. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más resuena por la pared, creando una canción. No quiero perder el ritmo. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más solo un trueno de horizontes, seremos miles, crecemos en número, en solo un trueno de horizontes,
your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, right now. We go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
the storm. Things aren't as they were before. You best start rising. Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. Tides are changing. Can you hear this sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in time, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. With the ground beneath your feet, with a whisper in the tree. Do you feel us watching? Hunger in our eyes, victories on our minds. It's our time to rise. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution.
Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
indication of what cars they are?
Tells you
Or-
next to the driver's name.
Not on mine.
Oh, is it not?
I mean, I can work it out, but
Yeah. Right,
it doesn't actually say it. Specify it.
Strange. Right, we're going to go live.
That's nice.
Evening and welcome to Simplay Motorsport, here for the second special event of the week, the Le Mans 2.4, our 2 hour 40 minutes yet again, another one, some different drivers and some returning faces from last night. We've got a 14 car grid with you. I'm Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box once again by my good friend Andy. Andy, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Matt. Great to be back here on the Simplay channel for the second event, as you say, of the evening. I saw some of the event last night here at this very track, at this very distance, and with these very cars. And looked pretty exciting out on track, pretty close for the overall class win. So hoping for more of the same tonight, and really stoked to see some good action out on track. But it's not going to be easy for a lot of these drivers. Some of these guys, did any of these guys race yesterday? I think.
That Bozzy Boy raced yesterday, Sooty Apex, Rabbit Joe, but in the GTE, he's now in the LMP1. Mazda raced for a bit yesterday. Fury was in for a part of the race as well before his internet went, and Keegs as well.
For the guys who were out on track yesterday, it could go one of two ways. It could either be that they're going to really come on for that little experience they had yesterday and go from strength to strength, or it could go the other way. It could mean that they're a little bit fatigued after having to go the distance. Guys like Fury will probably not suffer from that so much, as you say, because he did drop out midway through the race. But it's definitely going to be a challenging evening for these drivers out on track, and quite a packed out grid. So yeah, it should be interesting.
It really should be. Fury obviously in the LMP2 yesterday, doing the jump up to the LMP1 today. Rabbit Joe was in the GTE category in the Porsche GT car. He's in the LMP1 today as well. That Bozzy Boy, or Liam Gamer as we know him on the Wednesday night, he's staying in the LMP1 Toyota. And then we've got new Simplay drivers, people who's making the Simplay debut, should I say, having a guest appearance here. We've got a regular commentator on the Pro Series in Kelly, KLF, with us tonight on the grid in the GT Ferrari. We've also got Nicky and Ukbar as well, so very good evening to them. Welcome along to Simplay, nice to see you here for this very special event. And one thing I noticed here, Andy, was Dan running with the Prolapse rainbow on the back of the car.
Oh, no way. Look at this, he's switched from the number 16 to the number 8. It's absolutely unprecedented stuff here from Unorthodox. Not quite sure what he's trying to achieve with that one, but clearly Team Prolapse with a very loyal fan, or possibly a new member. Having said that though, Matt, it's not bringing him much luck, because look at that front left headlight. It's already taken a bit of a hefty whack into the wall.
There's also no rear spoiler on that car neither, that would have kept all that like shark fin stable.
Do you know what? I've got this perception in my head of LMP2 looking a certain way. I didn't even realise that the rear wing wasn't on.
You should have seen a few of them last night.
These spaceship type cars. I didn't even realise.
Yep, no rear wing on that car. Dan as well, Unorthodox, LMP2 champion over at Motive, Andy, your channel, LMP2 champion a few seasons ago before it got replaced on your calendar. So he's quite a specialist in these cars.
It's the championship that got away, really, because obviously as soon as Unorthodox managed to win that championship, we ended up putting it on the scrap heap. So yeah, Unorthodox has won that accolade and then wasn't able to defend his title, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be wanting to show everybody why he was the LMP2 champion. Having said that though, Ukbar, another LMP2 champion at Motive, in fact won the LMP2s a couple of seasons before Dan did, and actually defended his title. Didn't successfully defend it, but yeah, he did attempt to.
There we go then.
So yeah, 2 LMP2 champions on the field tonight. Also Nicky, who I believe finished in the top 3 in the standings a couple of times.
So a very strong LMP2 field, and we've got to give a shout out. The man in the LMP1 car, Mazda, obviously won our overall Daytona 24-hour race here at Simplay Motorsport, and did all 24 hours. Yeah, 10 times the distance, but did all 24 hours in the car. That was the LMPH that night. He's in the LMP1 tonight. So what can Mazda do? Expecting big things from this guy in his Toyota, but I tell you what, he could be really rejoicing being back in the LMP cars.
Yeah, for sure. We know that he somehow managed to get that thing towards the full distance of that 24-hour race. I honestly don't know what he must be made of. You know, the man must be superhuman to be capable of doing such a feat. But,
and what an incredible achievement it was. He was pushed hard by Champ, but Champ ended up it was a game of chicken, wasn't it, towards the end? Champ called it a night and went to bed, and Mazda stayed the distance to win the race.
Well, the thing was, Champ knew he had to go the full distance or close to it in order to beat Mazda, because Mazda had a slightly faster car in the LMPH, Champ in the LMP1, and Champ knew that he had to really persevere in order to get himself into P1, but Mazda just kept going. Nothing was going to stop Mazda from making sure that he got that hybrid car to the finish first, and in the end he actually sat at his rig for the full 24 hours, did not even get up to go to the toilet during that time. Goodness knows what sort of organs he's got inside of him to be able to hold on that long, but yeah, it's
an incredible feat. Just doing a 5-minute practice session here, even though it is qualifying and the times will not be reflected. Whatever qualifying times do come in, the guys will line up in that order but in their classification, so LMP1, LMP2, GTE. 14 drivers on the grid. We had 14 drivers last night but only finished with 9. Let's hope we can get 14 finishes to the end. If you missed out last night's video, go and check it out, especially the last 40 minutes of the race, where Monkey Boy was about 40 seconds behind Peaceful Explosion but managed to reel him in for him to run out of fuel towards the on the penultimate lap and have to pit, ultimately handing the win to Peaceful Explosion in the end. Look at these two, Sloth and Welshie, teammates last year in the Pro-Am category for MC Motorsport, and looks like they're running in team colours, if you will, in the LMP2 class here. Can these two challenge Nicky or Dan or Ukbar today?
I wonder if that'll be possible. It's not going to be easy, as we said, because we know that Dan and Ukbar both have the credentials, having taken LMP2 championships in the past. Dan's obviously taking a bit of time to get to grips with this track and the car, because as you see, the front part of his car has taken a bit of a whack into the wall, but yeah, he's pushing it, coming into this final section of the lap, and let's see what happens here. Currently the LMP1 qualifying standings: Mazda on pole, Keeg second, Rabbit Joe third, and that Bozzy Boy sat in P4, but this is obviously a practice session, so this is not going to have an impact on the starting order, but it's definitely going to have an indication of what sort of pecking order to expect here for the start of this race. Whereas Unorthodox, so he's coming up in towards the final couple of chicanes now, as we see Ukbar crossing the line. 3:49, that's the time to beat for Dan. What's this going to be for the former LMP2 champion at Motive?
Doesn't do it.
And he,
5 seconds slower.
Wow, so Ukbar is absolutely on it tonight, and Dan not even able to get close. Up the Apex and GTEs comes over. 3:59 for him. Nicky goes P3 in the LMP2 standings, but yeah, great stuff there from all the boys, and it looks like that is Mazda there setting the pace, which how we can't really be surprised about that, to be honest, Matt, because we know that he's a man who's very strong in the LMP1s, LMPHs, you know, whatever you want to call them, which one section of the LMP1s it is, but yeah, great stuff there from the guys.
Great stuff to see. Loopy Luke, Sutty's nephew, I do believe. Evening to you in the chat. Rabbit Joe and that Bozzy Boy are in the chat, and so is Sutty. Evening to Jamie Brazier and Smurf. Evening to him. He says good luck, go Ukbar, and Fury's granddad as well. The Fury massive with us as always. Jamie Brazier did just retract his message. I did see what he said. If Peaceful is watching, happy 40th birthday, Peaceful Explosion. Congrats on the win last night, and he'll be ready, I'm sure, to get back out on track for
happy
next
birthday,
week.
It's a great birthday present, winning at Le Mans.
Absolutely fantastic one. I'm sure, though, we'd rather have the win in the Pro category for points in the championship, but a win's a win, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's an accolade that will forever be sat on his resume here at Simplay. So congratulations to Peaceful on that one. But I just want to point out, Smurf J is actually Ukbar's mother.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So yeah, Smurf J used to comment on a lot of the streams back in the day at Rubbings Racing before Motive started, and Smurf J, we always assumed it was one of Ukbar's friends, and then Ukbar goes over and I'm like, oh, that's my mother. So, okay, cool.
There we go. Yeah, well, nice to have you along. Subscribe, guys, like the video. Let's get this video to as many likes as possible before the end of the 2.5 hours. One thing I want to say, this track and this car category be part of our Triple Crown in the off season as the season's coming to an end here at Simplay Motorsport. We are looking at a 24-hour race again, as well as one of the Indy 500 or the Daytona 500 and the full 100% distance around Monaco on the Formula 1 game. So keep your eyes out for that in the off season. And if those guys, anybody listening or watching or racing on track tonight, want to take part in the Triple Crown, details will be announced shortly, and I'm sure that is something we can sort out. Also, check out Motive Racing tomorrow night, F1 2020. I'm myself racing in that one, along with the likes of regular Simplay racers of Gary and Keegs, DJ Phil's there as well, and Fury, Unorthodox, and I believe Big Boy Bracy's now in the championship.
Has he joined the F1 Championship? I'm not sure.
I believe he has.
On
Yeah.
that one.
I think he's put it on the championship base. Yeah.
Very interesting if Jamie has joined us. But we're about to go lights out here at Le Mans for the second endurance race up this week here at Simplay Motorsport.
And we're green here at the Mans. I forgot to put it on a rolling start. We're having a standing start nonetheless, so they are away here. Not your traditional start you'd see at Le Mans, but Mazda gets a launch. So does Rabbit Joe and that Bozzy Boy, and them to a side-by-side. They're coming around to turn one on board with that Bozzy Boy. Now back with Keegs as you see the two teammates in the Pro-Am Series, currently side-by-side at the moment in the LMP1 in the two Toyotas. You've also got Fury and...
somebody straight on.
Oh, yeah, who is that? That's Daniel Francis as well over the gravel to the right-hand side of the screen. Oh, carnage!
Oh, no!
That's the two...
Here.
That's the two Welshie, and Unorthodox as well, Stealth Sloth.
Two teammates. Oh,
what's happened there? And yeah, they're all behind the GTEs. This is crazy.
Unbelievable stuff there, and not the ideal start whatsoever for Welshie and Stealth Sloth. Nicky's up into P5 there. Rabbit Joe came through. There is that Bozzy Boy with a missing part of his front part of that car, and the GTE's currently battling it out. It looks like we've got Daniel Francis and Sutty separated by not much, as Unorthodox is trying to come through and limit the damage after that slightly early skirmish there.
We've lost Kelly.
In his LMP2 car. We have. KLF has he failed to ready up again here, Matt? You could not write it, could you?
If he has, I think we can get it restarted here for him if he has.
Yeah, I think so.
Just skirt the qualifying. Let me just message him.
Yeah, KLF obviously did the commentary yesterday night here at some place, so he decided he wanted to be out on track tonight, wanted to get his teeth cut into some action, so that is really unfortunate, guys, but we are going to see if we can get this race restarted for him.
Yeah, I'm just going to back out.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see. When your stars are burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been so scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this car.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? I criticized myself for trusting lies. I know I can't hide. stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I'm enough. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this car.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love?
Play it so I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play it so I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up and then I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Give it to me like I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Could you just imagine him like giving you something and then just be sat there smirking, like thinking, "Oh, I fucking
Oh,
done it,
no,
mate."
I can genuinely imagine that, to be fair. And live. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies about that one. We've managed to get Kelly. We've also managed to get Smokey Devil in a GT to make the GT field 5 cars in each category for tonight. We are going to get away on a rolling start, no qualifying this time. We are just waiting for the drivers to ready up. So Kelly, please ready up for this one. We can get underway, although he did say his game had crashed, so it's not his fault on that one then. Smokey Devil in. And with 5 LMP1s, the interesting one, look, his Master starts P5, not P1 now.
It is, yeah. Mazda's definitely got some work to do, but having said that, though, we've got 2 hours 40 minutes ahead of us. But we know Mazda has got a bit of form in the LMPs, or well, I'm not going to say LMP1s because the win that he got was actually in the LMP8
yeah.
back in December at Daytona for the full 24-hour race. This one, a tenth of that distance, 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Look who's alongside him as well, leading the LMP2s away. Unorthodox.
Oh, no. Well, let's hope that Unorthodox doesn't get too much of a good start. Then he's going to find himself right in the thick of the LMP1s. But here we go.
I don't know what the AI is doing for Unorthodox, but he's pulled away well in front of Mazda. But they're coming through the final chicane. They all seem to line back up better now. And the LMP1s lead us away, and we are green here. And what kind of a start does Fury get away from that Bozzy boy? Already carnage in the GTs, a few of them on the gravel.
Off onto the gravel and out of the last corner, yeah. Fury leads, so coming towards turn one. Looks like we've got that Buzzy Boy looking to the inside. A bit of a twitch there from Fury. Oh no, it was that Buzzy Boy even that got a bit of a twitch.
Yeah.
He's dropped back down to P4. Liam losing out ever so slightly. Looks like he almost had a bit of a rub with Keegs there, and managed to get away with it. They're side by side through the S's. Looks like Keegs just squeezes ahead of that Buzzy Boy. Mazda there in P5. Looks like the top 5 LMP1s seems to have broken away already from the LMP2s here. But very sideways action there. That Buzzy Boy all onto the grass. Is Mazda can have a look to the inside? No, he can't. And it looks like it's as slow as he were between those guys. Fury, though, leads this field, and he's already put 2 seconds of a gap between himself and Rabbit Joe, Matt.
Great start from Fury at the beginning of this race. We've only done a couple of corners, and Keegs here looking to pull out, using that advantage of the slipstream and a bit of battery power down the back straight, the first part of the back straight. Interesting fact, Kelly told me last night, the full straight of the classic track had to be separated because the FIA made a rule that you couldn't do more than 2 kilometres in a straight line without turning a corner. So that's why the 2 chicanes have been put in. And Keegs there gets past Rabbit Joe using the slipstream into the first of the 2 chicanes. Master's still stuck behind that Buzzy Boy, but you've got Fury 2 seconds ahead of these two. These 2 seconds ahead of the 2 behind them. And Unorthodox still leading with Nicky on his tail in that LMP2 category a bit further back already, 5 seconds adrift. There is Nicky on the back of Unorthodox. Welshie, where's Ukbar? Ukbar's just behind the 2 of them. No, Ukbar's in between Nicky and Unorthodox.
Ukbar's just behind
yeah,
him.
That's right. Yeah,
But,
you're right.
Well, Welshie's dropped off for them a little bit there. Stealth Stuff currently sat in 10th place. Slightly better start. Well, not too much better than what we saw in that first attempt to get the race underway. We've got KLF sat in 11th place. This time his PlayStation didn't crash. Good to see. We've got Smoker Devil sat in 12th place. Sutty Apex. DJ Phil, looks like Sutty's picked off Phil and Daniel France 13th place after a very, very dodgy start there. With Sutty Apex coming out of the last corner onto the pit straight. But it's Fury who leads the way. Keegs has managed to pull it into that gap just a little bit over the course of this lap so far since the start. But still around 2 seconds right now. Rabbit Joe still within striking distance of Keegs and Mazda. I'm surprised to see this, man. I don't know what's going on with Mazda. He's dropping back into the clutches of Liam here.
Very clever person, Mazda, so I'm sure he'll just be biding his time and waiting to the end of this race. Is him and Buzzy Boy sort of using each other to try and gain with the slipstream over the cars in front? And Liam just touched that dip, so tries to brake. Now he's clattered the back of Mazda. Mazda's managed to keep going. Liam's put it in a wall, and Liam there just very late on the brakes compared to Mazda and rammed into the back of him. And then, it's all about patience and taking your time in endurance racing. And Liam there was very eager to get on with it. There is the LMP2's just behind. He's still not out of this race. He's got plenty of time to recover from that.
Yeah, rough justice there for Liam. It looked like the end result of that pretty much went the way you would anticipate that to go. And Mazda very lucky there not to get caught up in that one and put in the wall. We managed to get away with it, but Liam just went a little bit too late on the brakes. And I think, to be honest, he did a good job there of keeping it from really compromising Mazda too much. He obviously knew he was losing the car a little way before he got to the corner, and he managed to minimise that effect on Mazda's car by just sort of skimming him rather than actually full on taking him out, which definitely helped Mazda in that situation. But Liam can go again. He's not lost too much time, about 9-10 seconds to Mazda, so he can definitely bring himself back into this one. Still a very long race at the moment. Fury leads this race though, and it looks like he's more than a match for Keegs. He's keeping that gap at around 2 seconds right now in the early stages.
It was 2 seconds quicker than Keegs last lap as well, was Fury, so he's managed to keep that gap brilliantly at the moment onto the second lap of the race. We are now, it's such a long lap here, it doesn't feel like we're on the first lap, but we are. KLF, so just reading the comments, Kelly's winning the GT. He was winning the GT class. It's now Sutty Apex who's leading that one by just a couple of seconds. Ukbar's dropped well off the back of Nicky and Unorthodox, and he's actually closer to Welsh at the moment. Welsh should be getting the benefit of a bit of slipstream down the start straight as they come up towards the first couple of corners. Can Welsh attack down the back part of the circuit? Let's wait and see.
Well, he's definitely staying within striking distance of Ukbar, but we know that Ukbar's
he's not now.
Welsh, he's almost lost it. Oh, so close there to pinning it into the barriers. That was nip and tuck for Welshie. Just about put the brakes on in time. That was a hiccup, but yeah, he's fallen off the back of Ukbar a little bit now. But Ukbar seems to be struggling ever so slightly. He was on the back of Dan and Nicky in the early stages. Dan has now pulled out 5 seconds over Nicky, so Unorthodox absolutely getting it down right now in these LMP2s, and we know that he's a man who strides in these LMP2s, having taken a championship in the past. We all know which one. But yeah, currently leading the LMP2 class, looking
And
pretty
if he is-
comfortable. But it looks like Keegs has got ahead of Fury up into P1 here, Matt.
Oh, so
What's
Rabbit
happened to
Joe up
Fury?
into P2.
Oh,
Where is
Fury's got a
Fury?
moment.
Oh, he's had
Yeah,
an
he's
off
got
somewhere.
wide
The
out.
car looks a bit dirty on the right-hand side, but the car doesn't look too damaged. Just looks like he's maybe took a trip through the gravel, I reckon, on the chicanes. But he's now got Mazda hunted down on him. 7/10 of a second is that gap between Mazda and Fury, and Mazda's going to have the benefit of all the slipstream. I was just about to say, sorry, is Unorthodox leading the way here for Team ProLab, showing Nicky what he can do maybe in that rainbow-coloured car?
Well, I haven't actually heard confirmation of Unorthodox becoming in part of Team ProLabs yet. Maybe he has put pen to paper, and I just I've been out of the loop a little bit. But yeah, if that is the case, then it looks like Team ProLabs may have a new #1 driver.
Indeed they will, and what a driver to add to their lineup of already fantastic drivers within their armoury. But Mazda here, you see him bouncing off the rev limiters. You hear that Toyota's got nothing more in it as he just lifts off a little bit, has a look up the inside of Fury, but he's too sensible to make that move there. Doesn't need to yet with 2 minutes 03. Rabbit Joe, who is attacking Keegs. I thought he was off, but he's attacking Keegs there.
He is. He's really ass in the back of him right now. Keegs got the lead handed to him by Fury's little mistake at the beginning of this lap. The right Joe is keeping Keegs very much on his toes at the moment and not giving him any space to breathe. But looks like Keegs has pulled out a bit of a gap in that section of the track. Maybe Rabbit Joe had to back off a little bit due to a slowdown penalty, but he's still very much within that window of being able to season any little mishaps or skirmishes for Keegs. Fury, though, is closing back up onto these two a little bit. Only 2.5 seconds back. Mazda waiting in the wings. He's been more or less there or thereabouts since the beginning. He was 4 seconds behind on the first lap, so he's actually closed the gap to the leaders over the course of this second lap. So Mazda very much getting into a rhythm now, as you said, Matt. Pretty intelligent guy, knows how to strategically drive a race, and it looks like he's just warming himself up, getting himself into a groove here.
Oh, he does. Apart from running wide there, yeah, just running into the gravel. One thing I'm noticing is Sutty in the GT is ahead of Stealth Sloth in the LMP2. So maybe not the start to this race that Stealth Sloth would have wanted. Struggling down in P11 overall, and is behind Sutty Apex by a couple of seconds here as well. So the LMP2 car of Stealth Sloth struggling against Sutty Apex in that GTE car. You'd expect this car to just pull away and have the advantage, but not to be the case at the moment.
It's looking like a bit of a head scratch here for Stealth Sloth. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
He seems to really be catching
mare
on this part of the track here where it's straight. And then is he just struggling through the corners at the moment? Is Sutty just able...
He's taking it so easily.
Yeah,
Listen
just
to the throttle. He doesn't have any confidence in that car whatsoever. You can just hear by the way he's feathering the throttle. It sounds... honestly, it sounds like a car that's damaged, but you see there that he's got absolutely no damage whatsoever.
No, damage not turned on, so it's just visual only.
There's
So
no damage anyway, but even if there was, look at his car, it's in pristine condition.
Yeah.
So Stealth Sloth looks like he's going for a bit of a Sunday drive right now. Not quite sure what's occurring there.
He's got to really up his game if he's to get this one done. Obviously, we started at 7 o'clock at night, times 10 time progression, so it feels the time will look like we're doing a full 24-hour race when we're not, so it will become night time earlier rather than later. As every 10 minutes is an hour, so it will technically now be 8 PM at night here in Le Mans. And it's Keegs from Rabbit Joe. Mazda's got past Fury up into third, I've just noticed on the timing screen. And Fury is quite a way back as well, to say Mazda's not long got past him. But Mazda up into P3 then. And for these front four...
doing the business, but he lost a bit of time getting ahead of Fury.
Yeah.
He's now 6 seconds off the back of Keegs, so he's obviously made a bit of a meal. Maybe himself and Fury did have a little bit of a ding-dong, who knows. That Bozzy Boy's dropped way out of it, currently sat 26 seconds off of Keegs. He was obviously 15 seconds behind before his little contact with the wall.
He's had some more contact with the wall there because he's got no engine cover on the back of that one. Yeah,
it definitely looks like it's gone pear-shaped there for him. Unorthodox leading the LMP2 category by just under 10 seconds to Nippy. Further 10 seconds back to Ogbar running in third position. And Welshie sat in fourth. We've got Sutty leading the GTEs right now. Sutty Apex driving a hell of a race in those GTEs, 10 seconds ahead of KLF, and Stealth Sloth is backing up the LMP2s right now. Looks like he's having all sorts of problems here tonight.
He's lost even more time to Sutty. He's now 8 seconds off the back of Sutty Apex, but it was only 2 earlier.
Listen to the car. Listen to the car. He's not. It's not him. It's not revving out, is it? He's just taking it easy.
It's just as if he's got no confidence. He's actually falling closer into the path of KLF than what he is gaining on Sutty Apex here. There is Kelly in the background. Lights will start to appear on shortly, I'd imagine. But yeah, let's see as he gets into the next chicane. Speedo obviously loaded. So let's see what happens with Stoff here.
He's hitting 172, so 173, 174. He's hitting the rev limiter at 173. That's why he's having so much problems, Matt. Because he's set up his car all wrong. His transmission.
Well, it's default setups.
Is it?
Yeah, default.
What is he in then? What car is that?
He's
is
in
that
the LMP2. I can't quite tell. Welsh is in the same car.
They all look the same to me, the LMP2s.
Yeah, Welsh is in the same one. So, if you go on board, will the on-board footage tell us what we got on the steering wheel?
Oh, we've got the speedo there for Welsh for this. Keep nice. So it looks like his acceleration actually seems. To be fair, his acceleration seems pretty similar to what we saw with Stealth Slot.
There's such Apex in the background. Yeah.
Sotti's on an absolute mad charge.
He's on a charge. He wants this GT to beat some of the LMP2s.
He's going to be knocking on Dan's door next.
Well, I mean, you look at Sutty Apex, he's got 170, 172 before he hit the brakes there. Oh, Welsh, he's had a big spin.
No.
Oh, Welsh, he's had a big spin, rolls it backwards to get out of Sutty's way. They are in. Oh, what's that logo on the wheel? Yep, I know that one. It's the same one as in the LMP1s.
Yeah, it looks like...
Is it the RWD? RWP?
Yeah. RW, yeah, that's the one.
Hang on, Master sent me a picture the other day of fuel loads for these cars. Yeah, the RWD, P2, P20, LMP2. It's actually the worst car. It's actually the worst car on the fuel as well. To be fair, you only get 8 laps of fuel compared to the Ligier of the Honda Judd or Nissan.
And this Ligier Nissan, I think, is the car to pick, especially with deep fuel setups.
Yeah.
I think they've gone a horrible direction with their car choices tonight. Unorthodox Nicky, Rugbar, all these three sat in that Ligier Nissan and currently reaping the benefits right now. Unorthodox leading that LMP2 category, but it's going horribly wrong for Welshie and Stealth now.
What could happen then? Could Sutty Apex genuinely beat 2 LMP cars tonight? This will be interesting to watch. The man in the Corvette,
looking pretty likely.
Yeah, looking very, very handy as well. The man in the Corvette doing the business at the minute.
And also the GTE cars on the straights, they usually top out about 175, so he's getting higher top speed.
Yeah, it's getting 3 mile an hour more into than the LMP2s.
Yeah, he is. And although he will struggle through the corners, so much of this track is straight line. Yeah. It really is going to play into Sutty's hands, so he could end up, as you say, finishing ahead of the LMP2s. That would be an incredible feat if he continues the way that he's going, but still a long way to go. He needs to pretty much have a flawless race in order to keep up that sort of feat that he's currently achieving right now. As Rabbit Joe is closing up onto the back of Keith while we're talking about Sutty there, and it looks like the gap now 7/10 of a second between the two leaders.
Yeah, he's hassling the leader as Keeks just took to the grass there, so that will help Rabbit Joe's run out the corner compared to Keeks, and will give him a bit of slipstream as they come down towards the Porsche Curves. But at the minute, Rabbit Joe keeping Keeks honest, and he's kept Keeks honest all the way through this race at the moment so far. He's done the business, 4 laps in, we're about to get head up to lap 5, so these guys will be thinking of pitting within the next 2 or 3 laps, maybe 20 litres you see in Keeks' car there. Now, I know Keeks very disappointed, his internet disconnected him last night. He said he felt he could have had the race win. Can he get the race win tonight? We're Mazda 4 seconds behind you. I know it's still early, still got just under 2.5 hours to go, but Keeks at the moment doing absolute bits, and Rabbit Joe as well in the Pro-Am, running 3rd in the Pro-Am category, don't forget, doing well as well, currently P2 overall and P2 in class.
Yeah, Rabbit Joe, one of the ones who also got pretty far in the 24-hour race, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
was catching down, wasn't he, in the GTE?
Yeah, he got to the overnight part and then I think disconnected, didn't he, in the morning?
Yeah, disconnected after 14 hours worth of racing.
Oh man, imagine that.
Internet went
I would have been at work at that point. I was just gone into work on 3 hours sleep, being absolutely shattered. But as we see there, it looks like Rabbit Joe getting ahead of Keeks up into P1.
Yeah, he's up into P1 out that final corner. Keeks got a horrible run through the chicane, and Rabbit Joe got an absolute beautiful run. 3:24 he's lapping here, he's Rabbit Joe, so good lap from him at the minute. Doing absolute bits so far in that LMP car, lapping similar. In fact, he was quicker than Mazda by 3/10 on the last lap, so Rabbit Joe really doing some good stuff here.
He is, and Keeks is going to have to very much get his head in the game if he wants to get back up into that first place. See Keeks driving with his lights off. Clearly he has the confidence to drive that car around this Le Mans circuit. Having said that, they're on like the half spec sort of option regardless, even if they're not turned on properly. As we see, having a look to the inside of the first chicane, can't get that one done right now. Rabbit Joe covers that one off, closes the door, their way through for Keeks at the moment. Mazda 3 seconds behind this battle there. Currently lapping similar lap times to Rabbit Joe, so Mazda's definitely going to be joining on the spot. If either of these two start having any issues or running into each other, then it's definitely going to play into the hands of Mazda. But 2 tenths separating these two. Keegs, again, the closing speed coming up towards the braking zone. Is he going to have a little look to the inside here? He's definitely shaping up a move, but once again, Rabbit Joe gets the corner to come just in time and holds on to the position. But Keegs is definitely closing in on him at the end of the straights, coming into the braking zones. Those braking zones are coming just in the nick of time for Rabbit Joe, though.
They are indeed. Keegs really using that slipstream to get close to Rabbit Joe, and you'll see here as well, just coming down towards the back part of the circuit, the very bottom end, heavy braking zone into this bit. Don't forget the LMP1s have a battery, so I wonder if Joe's just taking a bit more advantage of his battery. Oh, it's Keegs getting that corner horribly wrong and has to cut it just ever so slightly there. And what is the situation with Fury at the minute? Dropped off the back a bit, 7 seconds off the leader. That's been about 7 seconds since Mazda's got past him as well, to be fair, so he's not really losing too much ground to the leaders at the minute.
He's not. Last time around he was only a second off, which around this track is basically probably about, not much at all, basically. So it does look like Fury driving a good race, very solid. Mazda though, matching the pace of Rabbit Joe right now. So it's pretty close between the top four. I've got to say, when you consider the length of this lap, it's actually quite tight at the front. We're obviously only 5 laps into this race, and it looks like Fury's actually closed in a little bit so far.
We're also going to gain on a few back markers in a moment. KLF has dropped down to P14 and 4th in class at the moment. DJ Phil last in class. About to battle with KLF, it looks like here. Oh, Kelly looks like he's had an incident, missing a headlight. Oh, DJ Phil very wide through there, but they're 3 minutes 21 off the race lead, and that isn't going to help because they will be on the back. Keegs of Joe will be on the back of them as they come. Don't forget the back markers are to not move out the way. It's going to be like the World Endurance Championship where the leaders are to get past themselves like they do in real life, so that's down to the leaders to make the move on the back markers on the lapped cars. And we are getting close to the first round of pit stops for these LMP1 cars.
Yeah, the field will be running pretty dry.
Yeah, Joe's doing a fantastic job here of managing to keep the pro driver of Keegs at bay at the moment, but Keegs just simply being able to use his knowledge and everything to get close to the back of Rabbit Joe. Mazda flashing his lights as well. Fury's mum, evening all, go Fury. So nice to see you here. Always late Joe there. Oh, now that's brought Mazda and Keegs into play, and Jamie Brazier, the Toyota, is incredible off the corners, and Joe is able to get away there. That's why Joe is so much faster. But yeah, Joe trying to go the opposite way around Kelly there, and that's allowed Keegs through. Mazda as well wasn't able to pass Kelly.
Obviously, getting really tied up there in that traffic, wasn't it? It looked like he was just he got caught up in exactly the wrong place. Keegs was able to capitalise on that, got a clear run through everything. And this is it's the same. Mazda really into the picture. Fury
as well.
3 seconds off the lead now.
Yeah, Fury really into the picture, and obviously it's not Kelly's fault. Kelly was just taking his line. It's Joe's prerogative to pass the lapped car, as Keegs now has his lights on. So that has really helped Keegs out, but has brought Mazda and Fury back into this little bit of action here. That Bozzy boy in the LMP1 not having it his own way, and is that Rabbit Joe who's just had a slide? I think it was. Rabbit Joe into the grass. So what has been a fantastic drive from him so far has now got to be a recovery drive for Rabbit Joe, as he's got to come back from P4 to try and gain on the leaders, but he's already 3 seconds behind Fury.
7 seconds isn't too bad. He's still very much in the...
Yeah.
He can really just get his foot down without too much pressure on him. He doesn't have to worry about anybody throwing one up the inside or putting that pressure. He can just drive his own race, and if he's got the pace, then he'll be alright. 5 seconds over Mazda at the moment, and Mazda looks like he's had a bit of a mistake coming out in that second chicane, because he saw the gap go from 2.5 up to nearly 5 seconds. At the moment, Keegs looking like he's in the box seat, but having said that, very early doors still, Matt.
Still very early doors indeed. I wonder if Mazda had to just come off the power a bit to avoid Joe, as Joe was losing the car, and that's why he's lost so much time, with Keegs being at pretty much top speed. That is Smoky Devil that Fury's trying to lap there. Yep, Smoky Devil pulls to the side and lets Fury go through.
Who's in the wall? Someone was in the wall there. I'm sure somebody was in the wall.
Oh, Daniel Francis.
Yeah.
Daniel Francis in the wall, and he's dropped all the way back to last place here. And DJ Phil and KLF have now gained an extra position there then. Smoky Sooty Welshie. Welshie's got past Sooty Apex and has pulled a bit of a gap. 3 seconds he's got a gap to Sooty now. So he's obviously managed to get away, get back in front and get his head down in that LMP2 car and get away from Sooty Apex. Sooty Apex here still leading over the GT class on one of the LMP2 cars in Stealth Sloth. That gap's 23 seconds back to Stealth Sloth, so what a job that Sooty's doing at the minute. Andy, I'm going to take a quick toilet break if you want to keep talking us through the rest of this race.
Sure, so whilst Matt goes to the toilet, we're just going to watch here as we've got a driver coming into the pit lane here at the end of lap 6. It does look like it's one of the LMP1s. Oh, as Sooty gets a little bit out of shape there coming into the second to last chicane. He's got it back on the track, but it looks like he's lost a bit of time there. But he's still just ahead of Stealth Sloth on the track for right now. But Welshie, the first driver into the pits of the LMP2 class, not the LMP1s. So he's the first to blink 20 minutes into this one. You want to minimise the number of pit stops that you're making here at Le Mans in this 2-hour 40-minute race, because obviously those pit stops will accumulate at the end, as if you keep coming in for refueling or whatever, or tyres, then it's definitely going to cost you or bite you on the backside once you get to the end of the race. But it looks like the LMP1 drivers coming in at the end of this lap now. Keegs in, Mazda in, Fury, Rabbit Joe, all coming into the box. The 4 leaders. Is Liam going to follow these guys in as well when he comes round? It's going to be a little while before we see Liam heading round towards the front of this part of the circuit. But Rabbit Joe in the box, and it looks like Rabbit Joe's missed his pit box. Oh no! This race has gone from bad to worse for Rabbit Joe. He looked like he was trying to recover after making that mistake earlier on in the race. Has he come into the pits on the same lap as his teammate? What is going on? No, he's finally found his pit box. But Rabbit Joe's race looks like it's slipping away. Very early doors, as we said, but it looks like Rabbit Joe really struggling now. He's going to have to put his finger out in this one. As we see Keeks just passing the 66.6 litre mark on his fuel tank, but yeah, he's currently, well, as is everyone actually, but Keeks there got a 3.5 second lead over Mazda right now, and it looks like Fury's still in the pits. Fury's had a mare in the pit stops as well. Fury and Rabbit Joe. We saw Rabbit Joe having to reverse down the pit lane and get himself back into shape, but Fury also having problems. That Bozzy boy Liam there in the box behind them, but Keegs and Mazda, the only two to not really have any mishaps during that pit stop phase. And also Welshie has been in from the LMP2 class as well. Looks like Daniel Francis at the GTEs is in as well. So we're seeing drivers from all 3 categories, or classes should I say, all coming into the pits early. It looks like all these cars have got pretty similar consumption on the fuel. Maybe the tyre wear on certain cars is slightly more prevalent than others. But Keegs leading this race by 4 seconds here over Mazda right now. But we know that Mazda's definitely going to be a tricky customer. Mazda, obviously the winner of the 24-hour race here at Simplay back in December at Daytona Road Course. So he's 100% a man who will stay the distance. There is no issues regarding Mazda's ability to race the full race here tonight. Fury now 20 seconds behind the leaders, having had that turbulent pit stop, and then Rabbit Joe having had to reverse down a pit lane into his pit box, now sat 30 seconds off the back of Keegs. No. Matt, you've missed it all. It's all been going off since you went to the toilet, mate. With Keegs and Mazda had seamless pit stops. They were fine. Fury had a bit of a mare. I'm not sure what happened to him, but Rabbit Joe missed his pit box, drove all the way down to the end of the pit lane, then reversed all the way back down to the start of the pit lane before realising his pit box was in the middle of the pit lane, and then pulling into his box. By that point, he was 30 seconds behind the leaders. Rabbit Joe's race has gone from bad to worse.
Oh, can't believe that. E. McIzzle, go Fury go, saying in the chat, Joe missed my pits. I wondered why Joe just put missed my pit. I just thought he'd gone out and forgot to pit altogether. I was going to say that is horrible if he had done that, because that would have meant that he'd have retired from this race probably on no fuel. But if the fact he's had to reverse down the pit lane, oh, what disaster for him.
He's still got a lifeline, but it's not been the ideal situation. Not what Rabbit Joe would have wanted here in this race, that is for sure. But Keegs still in the box seat right now, and he's been controlling this race ever since Rabbit Joe made that mistake. But we know that Mazda's not going to make it easy for him. He'll be there fighting at the end. And also, if anything, what Mazda's got is endurance. We know that if he will be in there till the end. He's not going to be plagued by fatigue or by rustiness in any way, shape or form. He's going to be fresh to the end. We know this man has driven much longer stints than he's going to be driving tonight. He's driven 24-hour stints behind the wheel without budging. So,
and the thing is he's only going to get better the later this race goes on. The more this race goes on, the more you're going to see this man get better and better behind the wheel.
He's such a clever man, isn't he?
Yeah.
He mentally keeps himself in the fight. Do you know what I mean?
It's as if he was built for this, for the endurance racing.
It is,
mentally.
you can tell he's not pushing it too much right now. He's kind of just getting himself into a groove. He doesn't want to blow his load straight away. You know, he's keeping himself very much
as well. The patience is brilliant.
For want of a better term. But yeah.
He's not, the fact that he doesn't want to push so hard to gain them 3 seconds on the back of Keegs is absolutely brilliant. His evening to Bethany and Duffin. Your man's not racing tonight, but it's nice to see cheering everybody else on. Oh, what's happened to Fury? He's lost the engine cover on the back of that car and he's lapping. Is he coming up to lap some of the LMP2s yet? Come clap a couple of the LMP2s there.
Looks like that would be
Stelsloff or Welsh,
Stelsloff, I think. Oh no, it is Welsh. It's Welsh.
Yeah, so that was all the bodywork of Fury's car that Stelsloff's just gone past. Here is Fury about to lap him. And Welsh just moves to the side there to allow Fury through. So nicely done. He's coming up to the back of a couple of GTs. DJ Phil in the pit lane then. Is that the first GTE car? I do believe GTE car to pit. I do believe it is. He's got plenty of fuel. He could have maybe
Daniel
done
Francis
a couple more
in.
laps. Oh, has he?
Daniel Francis came in. Yeah, he came in on the same lap as the LMP1s came in, which was a bit of a head scratcher because the fuel tanks in the GTE is considerably
look at DJ
more
Phil's fuel there. He's still got plenty of fuel to do a couple more laps yet. But okay, clearly feeling that he's got to pit.
Maybe his tyres are going off a little bit.
Possibly. Keegs leading this race 4.5 seconds. Really is patiently building a good lead. What's happened to Welsh and Stelsloff? I've just noticed they're actually 12th and 13th overall, behind Smoky Devil and Sutty and KLF now.
Yeah, I missed that.
They pitted. He's got 64 litres in the tanks. They must have pitted as well.
Yeah, indeed they did. Yes, absolutely, you're right there. So they've dropped obviously behind the GTE runners. Oh god.
A bit of a head scratcher there to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, just a bit confused for a minute. But Unorthodox into the pits from the LMP2 class, obviously leading the LMP2s, and Nicky following him, Ogbar following them in as well. So looks like they're all on pretty similar strategies. See the fuel running quite dry there, 6 litres in each of those cars. So very much time to come in and get that changed up. Looks like Unorthodox just coming out of the pit box now. Had to get hold a little bit because Nicky and Ogbar were coming through, and obviously didn't want to get done for an unsafe rejoin there. The pit crew very patient there, waiting for the other two to come through. But Dan got quite a sizable lead there in the LMP2 class. You see there, Nicky hasn't even come out of his pit box yet. Dan is already out of the pit lane now. So Unorthodox showing, I think, why he is an LMP2 champion over in another league here on Project Cars 2. And always we see him taking one of the markers with him, I think. Or was that just...
I missed that one, wasn't quite sure there, so I'm not sure if he hit anything or not. But Ogbar and Nicky, that's how big a lead he's got. They're still in the pit lane.
Wow.
Still sat in their box at the moment. So wow, Dan has got an impressive lead. Are these guys changing tyres? Or
yeah, possibly. I don't know though, because I can't imagine it would be too beneficial. I reckon you could do at least 2 stints.
Was they on the hard though, and are they going to the soft for the night time to maybe keep the temperature in them? Is that their thinking?
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, maybe. But we see them, both of these guys coming out of the pits early on there. You know what it was? Dan took the full pit exit, didn't he? He stayed on the right all the way up until that point there, whereas these two taking the modern day pit exit. That's
he's 35 seconds in front of Nicky though, is Dan, so he's well in front, he's gone.
Yeah, he definitely didn't change tyres though, Matt, so we could see some faster lap times from Nicky and Ogbar, but having said that though, I don't think they're going to be able to get the hammer down enough to reel in on Unorthodox with the margin that he's got right now.
We'll have to see the tactics. This is the tactics of endurance racing. This could be enjoyable to watch between these guys over the next couple of laps. Keegs having a 3.5 second lead to Mazda. Oh, was just on the grass a bit there was Mazda. So he is in control of this race, is Keegs at the moment, but Mazda is coming, was 9/10 quicker on the last lap alone. So Mazda is coming.
For sure, yeah, and it's not going to be easy for Keegs. Last time around, Mazda was the second quicker, as you said, so it looks like it's definitely going to be an interesting race. Keegs going to have to be on his toes, that is for sure. Ogbar probably closing up onto the back of Nicky a little bit there. He's definitely not closing up onto the back of Unorthodox, he's not even close. But yeah, he's very much in the toe here of Nicky, and is Ogbar going to be able to go for a move coming up into the first chicane? He's a little bit too far back right now. We see the closing speed there, reaching a much higher top speed. Yeah, 180. It's going to hit 185, maybe, possibly. 185. There we go. Look at
86,
that.
That touched 186 just as before he braked. It just changed to 186. So
And he brake pretty early as well.
A lot quicker than Welsh and Stow-Slough as well. So Ukbar and Nicky clearly able to hit the speeds that Stow-Slough and Welsh aren't at the moment. But these two are doing a fantastic job. And look at Ukbar in that tow of Nicky as they head down towards the second chicane. They've got the leaders coming up on them as well.
Oh no, Ukbar's disconnecting.
Is he?
Look. Oh, look at him. He's disconnecting. He's frozen.
No, he's not. He's moving. Oh, he's just...
Is it me?
Ukbar's still going. Ukbar's side by side. Ukbar's got past Nicky.
Really? On my screen, Ukbar's frozen. What's going on there?
Oh, Ukbar's got past Nicky. Ukbar is up into P6, up into P7 overall, second in class, and the leaders are coming through now to lap them. So Ukbar is he still frozen on? Is everybody else all right on your screen then?
Everyone except Ukbar is fine.
Oh, Ukbar's going. Ukbar's just been lapped by Keegs and he's well in front of Nicky now.
That is the weirdest thing I've seen here. I mean, I've seen some strange stuff on Project Cars too. I've been disconnected. Right, there we go. I've been disconnected.
There we go. So, you'll be able to jump back in.
Yeah, let's jump back in and see if we can spot Ukbar on the track. Obviously, you guys watching the broadcast would have seen it from Matt's perspective.
Yeah.
All I was seeing was Ukbar just suddenly froze on the screen, and it looks like mine and Ukbar's internet connections are clashing a little bit. So hopefully that sorts itself out. We're jumping back in now.
With just on board the empty track. The cameraman's decided to not follow Nicky round. We are just on an empty track here while we await Andy to be able to get back into the session to do the cameras for us. But we are at the minute. There's a car. That's a GTE.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy what you see here on the Simplay channel, make sure you drop a like on the video. We've got 13 likes so far, 12 of you watching. If any of you guys have not liked this video, make sure you drop a like. Let's get this video to 20 likes before we, well, we've got a long way to go yet, but let's get this video to 20 likes as soon as we can. We've got Smurf J saying, go Ukbar, go. Must have been a bit of a hair-raising moment for Smurf J there. It's, hearing the rumours of Ukbar dropping out of the session, but ultimately it was me, not Ukbar, so it's alright, everything's fine, and currently going smoothly with the Flying Dutchman right now.
Indeed it is. As we are
just back up
on board the empty track. There is Keegs coming through on the circuit there as the cameraman's trying to pick up Nicky, but he's failing to do so at the minute. There is Mazda, who's dropped back a couple of seconds. That gap's now 5 seconds actually. And then this here is the man Ukbar, P2 in class, and has a hell of a gap.
Got breaking news. The director for the TV companies has just been sacked, and we've got a new director. Yeah. So here we go.
Ukbar's well in front. Where is Nicky? We've lost Nicky.
Oh no, is Nicky disconnected?
We've lost Nicky.
Oh,
I've just been sat there going, where's Nicky?
That's been left in some clean air. Oh, that is so unfortunate there for Nicky.
Yeah, 40 minutes into this race as well. We've lost Nicky from this race. How unfortunate for Nicky then. I've only actually just noticed that. I didn't see anybody's name disappear, but yeah, I can't see Nicky's name on the screen. There's only 14 drivers now, so we're down to the 4 runners in the LMP2. Unorthodox, Ukbar, Welshie and Stow-Slough. Team ProLap's just put in the chat, disconnected. What a shame for Nicky as well, because he was driving really well.
Yeah, that's it's one of those things, unfortunately. The downside of online racing, it's much less expensive and often more enjoyable than the alternative, but at times it can really be it can just be so frustrating. You get kicked out of the session through no fault of your own. He said he was enjoying that, but that is Nicky's race over and done with.
Yeah, what a shame.
He was looking good for a podium there in the LMP2.
He was looking good for a second, good fight for second place as well. We was looking for that. That's kind of been stolen away from us. It's been a pleasure having Nicky on the circuit here at Simplay. Hopefully he can join us again for some special events in the future. We'll be delighted to have him here. That's Fury and Rabbit Joe on track having a bit of a battle then. And this for P3 in the LMP1 and overall in the race. So
yeah, but these two are going to be ruining what could have been in this race, because Rabbit Joe was running up the front, was leading early on.
It was Fury, so was as well.
Yeah, Fury was leading as well, but these guys made a few mistakes, and with the pit stops going the way they did, these two now find themselves over 40 seconds behind the race leader Keegs. So it's amazing how quickly your fortunes can turn here, especially in these LMP1s. It looks like Fury getting a bit of a compromise run there, coming out of that right-hander at the end of the straight, and that's Joe breezing past him there, like he wasn't even there. Fury going backwards in that part of the track.
He really was. Joe got a great run out that corner, and now it's Fury's time to get the slipstream and get into that toe of Rabbit Joe. There's only one headlight between three people here, so between two people, sorry. So brilliant stuff from these guys. But Fury at the minute has actually lost a bit of time, and Joe, with what Jamie said earlier, that Toyota seems to have better speed out the corners than the other LMP ones. Is that right? Because Joe at the minute seems to have, although he ran a bit deep there, did Rabbit Joe, and now Fury's got a good run out the corner. Can he stay in the slipstream? They're heading down towards the Porsche Curves. Fury's pulled out now. In fact, has got past Joe. So wow, as easy as that, they're chopping back again.
Yeah, it looks like these two very evenly matched in terms of the straight line speed. With P-fold setups on, it really does leave it pretty much down to the car setups in those sections of the track. So we see Rabbit Joe getting a little bit sideways coming through that part, but Fury's now pulled the gap. It looks like Fury's got a lot more confidence in the corners, and he's already pulled out over a second to him. Rabbit Joe has been up and down here in this race, but currently running 40 seconds off for the lead. Looks like Fury keeping the gap to Keeks right now. It's staying up. It's actually come down a bit. It was 42 to Fury a moment ago. It's now 41. So Fury is very much keeping himself fighting in this race, and not getting bogged down by that margin that you see between himself and the leaders. And there's still a long way left to go in this race. Anything can happen here. We've got 2 hours on the clock.
Very long way to go. Nicky's just put in the chat, Matt, Andy, thanks for letting me join the race. I was running really well and enjoyed the first stint. Hopefully next time. Yeah, indeed. Hopefully you can join us for more events over the off season when we get them. If you are interested in the 24
Nicky on the track.
Very much so. Great pleasure to see Nicky on the track. If you are interested, Nicky, in the 24-hour event, let me know. I'm sure that's something we can sort out. It was space for cars last time round, so I'm sure that's something we can sort out for next time. As Fury just had a bit of a wiggle before the back straight there. Oh, Joe, in the camera behind, looked like he hit the wall, but he's still going on track, so I don't know if he did. But they're both still going here. Can we get their speedo back up again so we can keep an eye on the guys' fuel and work out when they're pitting? 34 litres in Joe's car, so these guys still got plenty in the tank. Me and Kelly worked out last night that if they're coming to the pit entrance, Andy, and they've got less than 10 litres in the tank, they've got to pit that lap, otherwise they're not going to make the lap. We was working out last night.
10 litres per lap, wow.
For the LMP1s, yeah. Oh, Joe, horrible chicane for him. That Buzzy boy was coming up some traffic. It's quiet night for him. Oh, Rabbit Joe's past Fury, so has Fury made a mistake on the exit to the chicane? He has. He's well behind.
Oh, did Fury end up in the wall? He's got a front right headlight missing there as Fury, so he's clearly had quite some major contact with the barriers there, and he's now fallen off the back of Rabbit Joe quite considerably. But oh no,
just little mistakes for these two at times, just costing them a bit of time to the leaders. And if that Buzzy boy can keep his head down and keep going, maybe he could be trying to gain on the back of these two, with these two making just some little mistakes at the moment. Nicky, Matt, I would love to join the 24-hour race. Well, brilliant. We'd be happy to have you. Information to come out soon.
It'd be great to see Nicky on the track. Is 24-hour race going to be here?
I don't know if it's going to be here. It might be the Spa in the GT3s and do the Spa 24. We're trying to do somewhat they do in real life. So we've just done the Daytona 24, but we're talking about maybe Spa in the GT3s, maybe here, maybe the Nordschleife, but we're not sure yet.
24 hours around the Nordschleife. That would be an absolute crawler.
That'd be a killer. I don't see Mazda doing 24 hours around there in a car.
If he does, then he's a meta-human.
He's the ultimate goat.
Yeah, he's just something else, isn't he? If he manages to do that, oh my goodness, that would be incredible.
Do you know what? If I put it to him, I bet he'd turn around and say challenge accepted. Yeah, I'm on for that. I'll be game for that.
Yeah, we'll just be hearing Mazda's bones creaking during the stream in the background. You just hear,
not yours and Champ's wheel this time.
You can just hear his bones clicking around the corners.
Yeah, it would be yours and Champ's wheel making the noise as the wheels come down to the rims. It'd just be Mazda creaking away with his bones clicking. Bless him. Well, there's a slow Corvette. I wonder who that is. Is that Daniel Francis? Is unorthodox about to lap? Yeah, it is. It's Daniel Francis. Currently P13 overall and fourth in class of Smoky. Wow, look at that. Sorry, fifth in class of Smoky Devil is ahead of Stove Sloth, and Sutty is ahead of both Welshie and Stove Sloth. Jamie, I'll try and do it on the pad. Oh, that
sounds painful. My thumb is actually hurting. I'm just basically, right, I've got this vision in my head. When I think of that, I can just see a very red thumb and a lot of numbness and pain. The bit that joins up the hand to the first, I don't know what it's called, but the joint in the middle of the thumb. Yeah. That bit's going to be really painful, and the front part, the tip, is just going to be numb.
Oh, I tell you what.
That's what I imagine when I think of that.
I can just imagine Jamie as well on his desk. He's got his monitor, about 4 or 5 pads. These 4 on charge, 1 in his hand. To the right-hand side of his screen, just loads of Red Bull and Monster energy drinks.
The analog stick's going to be mashed by the end of it. It's going to be a mess.
Oh dear.
Think about it's the casing on the edge of that analog stick. It's going to be falling off by the end of the race. I would have thought.
If you do it, Jamie, I'd love to see you have a go. That'd be it'd be lovely to see your pace, because you're obviously Jamie's very quick over sprint races. I wonder what his pace would be like over the distance of a full race, a full 24-hour race. That'd be interesting to see.
I reckon he's got the focus and the perseverance.
Yeah.
But whether or not he's physically able to hold on to a pad, you know, switching a stick around on a controller for that long, it's going to be
that'll be
something else. Yeah, 100%. It's going to take a lot of cognitive.
At least with the pad, you're not going to be parked on the road for half an hour waiting for your wheel to cool down, like Gary. Gary, if you're watching Evening to You, and Little Leach as well. If you're watching Evening to You, but at least you're not going to be sat there waiting for your pad to cool down. You'll just be able to plug another one in, charge it, turn it on, right away we go on this pad, that pad's cooling down. Yeah.
Well, I was gutted in the. I was a little bit disappointed in the Daytona race actually when Little Leach had his overheating issue, because myself and him were having a great battle for the final podium spot for the LMP1s, and then his wheel overheated, and that was kind of the end of that one. But hopefully that doesn't come back to bite those guys in the next one. But I suppose you can never really account for that type of thing, can you?
Hopefully though, they can sort of use it for a couple of hours, put the air in the car for half an hour or so. Oh, that's Fury lapping Ukbar there.
Rabbit Joe. Is it Rabbit? No, yeah, you're right, it was Ukbar. But it looks like Fury closing up onto Rabbit Joe once again. Having said that, maybe the timing board slightly exaggerating the gap.
That's Dan they've just lapped. What's happened to Dan?
Wow. Unorthodox has had a bit of a capitulation here, hasn't he?
Wow.
I wonder if you were right. Maybe Ukbar changed the soft tyres for the night time, and this is now really hurting Unorthodox because he's on the hard tyres, which have pretty much got no grip at these types of temperatures.
I'm wondering then if Ukbar, so Nicky could have been on the right tyre here. If they did change tyre and are on the right tyre, wow, how that's changed. That is massive. And Jamie's just said, I don't have a desk.
He could have been in the hunt for winning the LMP2s.
Massively as well. Jamie's just said, I don't have a desk. My PlayStation's on my wardrobe. My TV's on the wall. I don't have a chair in my room. I'll just stand for the 24 hours.
What, he stands up when he races? No way.
Ukbar's touched Dan!
Oh, no!
Ukbar's tapped Dan! Oh, what a shame!
A bit of a tap in the rear, and he's almost into the wall, just about keysing out of the barriers, but that is Ukbar's. He's got to do it all over again now after putting in all of that hard work to close up onto the back of Unorthodox, but we know that Ukbar is on tyres that are much faster in this phase of the race. Having said that though, Unorthodox could probably go a very long way into this race on those hard tyres, but now he's got that 4-second advantage over him once again.
It all depends if he can actually keep the heat in his tyres, because that'll be the one that he's got to do. If he can keep the heat in the tyres, then that'll be what he wants to do, and be able to go the distance. If you can't keep heating him, and Ukbar can on his sauce, you don't. Tricky decisions for Dan. Just looking at the times out front, Mazda 1.5 seconds quicker than Keegs, but he's still 5 seconds behind. This man Kelly on his Simplay debut, having a good little run at the moment.
He's got his son coming up around to put a lap on him in a few moments' time, though. Another lap, I believe. And Unorthodox currently leading this LMP2 championship race series category at the moment by 4 seconds over Ukbar. So Kelly will be aware of his of the younger Davis coming up on him in a few moments. Looks like the gap between the two leaders, Keegs and Mazda, going up a bit. 7 seconds currently separating them, which is a bit of a head scratcher when you look at the timing board and see that Mazda was 1.5 seconds quicker on that last lap. So presumably at the beginning of this lap somewhere, Mazda's had a little bit of a moment, which has dropped him off the back of Keegs. So Keeg's doing absolute bits right now when you think about Mazda and how quick he is in these LMP1s or LMP8s, you know, same sort of thing. But drivers like Champ, who himself has victories in an LMP1 championship in the past, couldn't match the pace of Mazda, and Keegs is actually
Dan,
going a little bit quicker than Mazda right now. To me, I kind of feel a little bit like Keegs is Hamilton.
Should be able to, mate.
Alonso in this situation.
Join that
I
invite
don't know
back.
why. It's kind of just got that sort of that feeling to it, even though they're not necessarily teammates.
You got Oakbar right behind you as well.
Just something about the situation kind of reminds me of it. But because no one would expect Keegs to be out in front doing the business and lapping quicker than Mazda, but he's currently really stepping up to the plate here, and Keegs looking very good for a win here in this race. Very early doors, but he's clearly got something around this Le Mans track in these LMP1s, Matt.
He's doing absolute. He's doing absolute bits. Sorry, I had my mic on mute that time. He's doing absolute bits. What you've got in the bottom left-hand corner, go and check this guy's YouTube channel. It's Unorthodox. Go and follow him on YouTube. We've just got here a little onboard action of Unorthodox in the bottom right corner of the screen. You can see a little bit of an onboard action. We'll just keep that momentarily as he is coming up to lap Kelly, like you said. But yes, is that Ukbar back on his tail? He's got Ukbar back on his tail. So we're seeing Ukbar and Dan on screen. Oh, Dan! Oh no, he's lost it. He's a bit sideways. He's had to spin it around, and Kelly will unlap himself. And there you see, just on the onboard footage as I'm on about it, Dan just losing his rear on the onboard camera on the stream. I tell you what, nice little. That's something I could do for the 24-hour look at people's personal streams and just add them like that to join them on board. But Dan there, heartbreak for him. We'll get rid of that one to let him get back to his race. But for Dan there, a little on board as he lost out to Ukbar, but he's actually got back in front. Yeah. So what happened there?
I don't know what's going on, but Ukbar's clearly backed out of it there. Looks like those two putting a lap there on KLF, so hopefully no issues there. But Alfon's back into the LMP2 class lead, only by the skin of his teeth at this point. And it looks like he's very much got a fight on his hands. Ukbar, no pushover in these LMP2s.
Oh, now that's interesting.
Champions of Motive Racing's LMP2s in the past. Rabbit Joe in the pits.
Yeah, Rabbit Joe in the pits, and I reckon he could have got one more lap out of his fuel there, but he's in the pits. Now that's crucial to his strategy. You notice none of the top three pitted there, so he could be a bit shorter at the end and maybe have to splash and dash at the end of this race. We saw that last night with Monkey Boy having to do that, and he had to just splash and dash on the penultimate lap to get him to the end of the race. Otherwise he wouldn't have had the fuel. But for Rabbit Joe here, a big pit stop that's going to cost him a lot of time to Fury. Trying the undercut maybe, we'll see, but at the moment he's going to come out with so much traffic in front of him, and he's going to come out with that Buzzy Boy, I imagine, gaining on him a little bit as well.
Absolutely. We can go back to this fight for the LMP2 class lead though. We got Ukbar still putting the pressure on Dan, and it looks like these two are coming up on one of the GTEs.
Smoky Devil.
It's Smoky, yeah. And looks like Ukbar looking to the outside here. He's driven round the outside of Unorthodox. Has he managed to pull off the move?
Touching!
And he touched him a little bit wide there. A bit of trading paint there as they came through the corner out onto the back straight. But Unorthodox holding onto that P1.
Oh, they split Smoky Devil! What racing!
No.
Oh dear! These
so
guys
close.
fighting hard for this lead, fighting hard for this class win.
Brilliant stuff. Watching from the perspective of Smoky Devil here as we see Ukbar on the inside of Unorthodox, but Unorthodox going to have the inside for the first chicane. What is going to happen?
Oh, they touched!
They come together!
They've touched!
They're into the wall. Dan is blasted back well out of that one, but it looks like Ukbar's pulled off of that a little bit better than Dan. Dan has dropped loads of time there to the Flying Dutchman. Oh my goodness me, that was going to spill over. It looked like it was just moments away from all going horribly pear-shaped, and it looks like now Dan has got a lot of work to do. 5 seconds behind Ukbar.
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. What a battle we've seen, and down the back straight, they've took it to the end. 2 top quality champions in the tier 2 category over at Motive, absolutely doing the business. Sorry, tier 1. Sorry, I'm used to that much saying Dan's a tier 2 runner-up. I've called him a tier 2 champion now. In the LMP2 category champion, and here are the leaders into the pits overall. Keegs and Mazda, 2 cars that at least are still intact, and Keegs is controlling this race like an absolute gem at the minute. He's doing such a good job. We imagine to see Fury and Liam Gamer in the pits this lap as well, but let's wait to see what happens here. But at the moment, Dan struggling with the hard tyres. So yeah, Dan clearly stayed on the hard. Team ProLab saying in the chat. So Nicky, did you pit for the softs, and did Ukbar pit for the softs with you? Because Ukbar clearly has superior grip in this race. Keegs away. Mazda not yet moved. He's away now.
Yeah, there he goes. So it looks like the gap between the two leaders still more or less what it was before. But yeah, Keegs is not in the clear at all by any means. Mazda's going to push this one all the way. But yeah, it looks like Fury coming round. P3 at the moment, a long way behind those two. He's got a bit of a gap back to Rabbit
This
Joe.
is going to be interesting actually. Go back to Fury a second. Because the interesting thing is he could potentially get another lap in.
Yeah, it's going to be. You know what? He could probably quite comfortably go another lap, but he's coming in.
He's coming in. Yeah, he's coming in. Team ProLabs in the chat. Me and Ukbar changed to the soft, so that confirms what we thought, Andy. Then they did change to the soft tyre, but at the moment, Keegs leads. That lead's been cut slightly in the pit, so Mazda's pit crew working wonders there as he's cut the lead to Keegs a couple of seconds there. So good job from them guys. In the pits. Liam Game is 10 seconds behind Rabbit Joe, but Liam we reckon's got to pit. But don't forget Joe now on a completely different strategy. But yeah.
Of course, we see Liam's putting a lap there on KLF. Pretty seamless there for both of them too, and KLF moving over. But KLF commentated yesterday night, and he's out on the track tonight for in that Ferrari. Looks like he's only 3 seconds off the back of Daniel Francis. Oh, as we see KLF going onto the gravel into the wall there. Oh, Kelly getting it all wrong. Oh no. Well, he's 10 seconds off the back of Smoky Devil right now, a little bit further off of Daniel Francis, but it's still looking pretty hot for second place in the GTEs. Smoky Daniel Francis and KLF separated by about 12 seconds, but Sutty in a class of his own right now.
Sutty's doing
over
an
a minute ahead.
Yeah, he's well in front. He's only 8 seconds off the back of Stove Sloth in the
Absolute
LMP2. Fury's still in the pits. That Buzzy Boy's not yet pitted. Where is that Buzzy Boy then? He's not pitted at all here. Is he still
like
oh no, he's coming in now.
He
Oh, there he goes. I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say he would be cutting that fine if he's not pitted again this lap. But he is coming into the pits. So we should get some brand new headlights. There they are. Bang. Unorthodox as well into the pit, so he's got to be putting the soft tyre on. Although you will notice it is starting to become daylight, so will the hard tyre maybe start to work as the daylight rolled in last night, around an hour and a half marker for the daylight to roll in. So if Unorthodox gone onto the soft tyre, has he done it a bit too late?
Well, time will tell us the answer to that one, Matt. But looks like Dan, once again, we've seen him each time he comes into the pits, taking the old-fashioned pit exit there.
Yeah, that's the pit exit the guys are supposed to be taking. Mazda's meant to be telling them about that. That's what Mazda's here for, because what we wanted is we didn't want the LMP ones to come flying around the corner and there'd be a battle on track, someone coming out the pit side by side with somebody or something like that. So instead of feeding onto the quick part of the track, they're coming onto the slower part of the track. But at the minute, there's no penalties in place if you don't do it. It was just something we asked for.
Bit of a conventional type of thing.
Yeah.
But
at the moment,
as is often the case with racing drivers here, unless something is in print, written down as a definitive, do this or else, generally there will be advantage taken. And that's just what racing drivers are like, Matt. We all know, we're all competitive.
We all do the same thing. We all
want to go for every little possible advantage we can grab. And Dan, just a bit of a gentleman, really. He's probably one of the he's probably one of the more friendly type, nice guys types. And actually a winner as well. So nice guys don't always finish last. But yeah, it looks like Dan, one of the guys observing that rule there. He's a little way behind Ukbar, but Ukbar's still got a pit. And although having said that, actually.
Yeah, Dan's pitted well early because him and Ukbar pitted on the same lap last time round. So Dan's pitted really, really early this time round. He must have had plenty of fuel left in the tank to keep going for a couple more laps. But just felt that the hard tyre obviously. Oh, his Ukbar's lost it! All on his own. He's managed to keep it pointing the right direction. But wow, that was a big, big slide. Welsh and Stove Sloth have pitted. Welsh has come out the pit. Stove Sloth now in the pit lane. So we might see Sutty pass Stove Sloth here. But Ukbar there, I'm wondering if Dan's just got. The hard tyres just aren't working for Dan at all, and he's decided I've got to pull the trigger now. Let me change my strategy, and we'll see where we are with Ukbar at the end of this race. You see the sun starting to rise here at Le Mans. An hour 45 left to go in this race.
Dan said to the team, I can't do this any longer, I'm sorry, I'm going to come in now. Get me in the pits, get me off of these horrible tyres. And we'll have to see now whether or not having to come in an extra time is going to cost him once he gets to the end of the race. He had a comfortable lead in the early stages, flashed the lights there. He knows we're watching him. Dan always follows the streams in the background there, and he's very much aware that the eye of the stream is on him. But he needs to keep his head in the game. He's obviously still a long race left to go, but the fight for this LMP2 class win is very much between himself and the Flying Dutchman Okbar right now. Smurf J will be pretty happy to see Okbar driving a very solid race right now, not making too many mistakes aside from obviously the one that we saw coming through the middle sector a few moments ago, minus a rear spoiler there for Okbar, but he's still driving an excellent race right now. He's on the back of fair left, so puts a lap on the Ferrari GTE right there.
Indeed he does, and Ukbar doing the business at the moment. No, that would have been DJ Phil then. He's just put a lap on.
Phil.
And KLF, he said to Mazda last night, look after my Ferrari that Mazda was in last night. Well, Kelly, you've looked after your Ferrari about as good as Mazda did last night, in all fairness. That is a bit beaten up. It's a bit beaten up. It looks a bit dinted. Look,
the front part's a little bit done. I was looking at the back there. I was thinking the front, the back looks lovely, and the front is. I was about to make a reference there to. No, actually, I was this bit.
BT in the chat. Come on, Dan. Yeah, more Prolapse boys coming over and cheering Dan on here. I'm so gutted I'm out of this. What a good race team, said Nicky. Yeah, Nicky, what a shame you're not with us, because this could have been an absolutely fantastic race for you, especially with him changing to the soft tyre. Could you imagine the three of them battling that we've just seen between Dan and Ukbar? Could you imagine putting Nicky into that equation as well? Oh, he'd have been in for an absolute treat.
That would have been a superb spectacle to witness there. But unfortunately, Nicky out of this one. He's watching from the sidelines. He can still cheer on his Team Prolapse teammate Dan, and if anything, it's going to give Team Prolapse more of an impetus to win this race, because now he's got a man watching his strategy. He can certainly give him that moral support in the background there. But Dan's got some work to do, because he's on an inferior strategy to Okbar right now. He's definitely on the back foot here in this one, but he's got more fuel in the tank at this point. So still, at this stage, he's got himself in with a shout of this LMP2 class win. He just needs to make sure there are no more mistakes or strategic errors.
Dan's got to get the laps in like he did earlier when he started to pull away from Ukbar and Nick. He's got to put them laps in now. As we see here, Mazda's been within a second of Keegs for quite some time without threatening Keegs, although Keegs has made a horrible mistake at turn 1 and 2. And is this the time to pounce for Mazda?
Here we go.
Former teammates in the Pro Series last season in the BMW M6, and Keegs keeps the senior member at bay. Keegs obviously now still at Tyrebrew Racing with Jamie Brazier, but Mazda obviously moved on to Simplay Racing as an independent this season, back in that BMW M6, and he's a bit wide coming onto the back straight there, but Keegs all out of shape still. How did he manage to hang on to that lead?
Goodness only knows, but Mazda's really pushing it now. He wants to get on with this. You can see he's got a superior straight line speed. Flash the lights from Mazda, trying everything he can to get into the head of Keegs. Has a little look to the inside, coming up towards the first chicane. Keegs is going to cover that one off to the inside. Mazda's not going to be able to get this round the long way. He's going to have to tuck in and try and go again, but Keegs very deep into the corner, goes straight on. Mazda, the perfect exit out of the corner, and Mazda did not need a second invitation there. He moves up into the lead of this 2-hour 40-minute race here at Simplay Motorsport, the 24-hour race winner at Daytona back in December. Now leads this race, but Keegs is back in the slipstream, fighting back here. He's pulling out to the right-hand side now. Is he going to be able to get this move done back into the second chicane here? Keegs is up the inside, Mazda giving him the space. Is Keegs going to go late on the brakes, or is Mazda going to try and hang it around the outside? Keegs is got it back. Brilliantly done there.
What a great move. He made the mistake himself at the first chicane and through the gravel he went, but he then got that slipstream and got that momentum back down the straight. Mazda a flash of the lights, but Keegs here made the mistake and he's come back at Mazda. Great driving from the two of them. Team Prolap saying that in the chat. Great battle with these two. Indeed it is. What dramas we're seeing in the lead for the LMP2 and the lead for the LMP1. These boys putting on a show for us. We're an hour into this race. We've still got 1 hour 40 to go, and these boys are doing bits at the moment.
When you consider we've been racing for 60 minutes right now, and these two are separated by 0.3 of a second. What a superb show these guys are putting on. We've got 15 people, 16 people currently watching the stream right now here at Simplay. If you guys are enjoying what you're watching, then make sure you drop a like, share this with your friends, get anybody to watch this, because we've got a superb fight going on for the lead here in the LMP1 class, and it looks like neither of these two are likely to drop it anytime soon. Obviously, famous last words there But let
here comes
people know
Mazda.
about this.
Oh, Mazda's launched one up the inside.
Oh,
Mazda's had a great look up the inside, and he's got to run there side by side as they come down the final part of the track. They come into the Porsche Curves. Keeks tucks back in, pulls out now, and he's on the grass to overtake Mazda. And the former teammates putting on a heck of a show for us in this one here at the moment. And Keeks back into the lead. That is KLF. KLF, I'd just move out the way, buddy. I wouldn't try and let he's to overtake you. Mazda's took advantage, and he's back in front as we jumped on board KLF. Mazda took great advantage here, and Keeks has dropped another place there, and he's got to do all the hard work again. What an advantage move from Mazda that was.
Yeah, and it looks like Mazda now with the tendency here in this race, he's going to have that moral high ground now. Having got that move done, he's been chasing him down for a number of laps. Mazda, one of the guys who he knows how to drive these endurance races. He doesn't go hell for leather early on. He keeps himself in with a shout and just conserves his energy, and it looks like he's pushing that thing now to its absolute limit. So 3:24 last time round from Mazda. He gained 2 seconds on Keeks on that lap. Has Keeks got anything left in the tank to come back at Mazda? Well, I guess we're going to find out, but Mazda now looking extremely strong here in this race. An hour into this race, still just under 2 hours left to go. Let us know in the comments section who your favourite is for this win. Do you reckon Mazda is going to go away with this one, or has Keeks got anything left in the tank to try and respond to this? 1.3 seconds separating these boys on lap 18 of this one. But Champ in the comments section saying now Prolapse have their own YouTube channel. What has this world come to? Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I'm just saying, I want to go back to something you said at the beginning of this stream, at the beginning of this race. Mazda is so patient. He'll bide his time, he'll wait and he'll wait and he'll wait. He's been 5 seconds behind Keeks for most of this race. 18 laps in, over an hour into the race, he's gone, I'm within a second, now's my time to make this move. Although Keeks gaining with the slipstream down that first part of the straight, gets the chicane bang on, and he's closer to Mazda for the second part.
Yeah, he is, and it looks like Keeks is definitely closing in these sections of the track. If he can keep in that slipstream, he's going to definitely have himself in striking distance. As we see a flash of lights there from Keeks to put this one headlight there, that left front headlight is working away over time. Hopefully the LED has got plenty of life there in that one, but now we've got half a second. Looks like Mazda might have had a slowdown coming out of that first chicane, so he definitely backs off a little bit. Keeks making a hash of that second chicane there, getting all sorts of sideways, and it's dropped him out of the picture once again. Mazda holding on to that lead, but this could be anyone's race out of these two. Honestly, I don't know which way to turn in terms of prediction.
No,
I don't want to put the curse on either of these guys either, so I'm going to sit on the fence for this one, man.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sit on the fence for this one as well and wait for this one to play out a little bit more, because at the moment Keeks can be in the slipstream of Mazda for quite some time, and if he can do it, we saw him overtake down towards the Porsche Curves last time. He could do the same thing this time around as well. They've got a couple of corners just before the Porsche Curves, but look at him using that slipstream to try and get back at Mazda down this back part of the circuit. Then couple of corners. Keeks has just got to make sure he carries that speed through the corners and gets the corners right. He messed up his second chicane, and that's what cost him time down the final part of the straight. But you see here, he's within half a second. Got to make sure he's getting these corners bang on every time. As he comes out now, he's within 8/10. Ukbar into the pit lane then, Andy. So this crucial for Dan at the moment. If you're watching the stream, or if you haven't watched the stream yet, head over to Unorthodox' channel. Go and give him a like. Subscribe to his channel as well while you're there. At the minute, you see in the bottom corner there is Dan's live feed of him in the cockpit view on the car while we've been watching this battle of Keeks and Mazda. We've had Unorthodox on the view, so we can see what he's doing and keep an eye if he's gaining on Ukbar. There he is on circuit. He will be with Ukbar by the time Ukbar comes out the pits, I reckon. But obviously two people, Andy, on two very different strategies now. Yeah, indeed, and it's now going to be a case of what sort of pace Dan can get out of these soft tyres. The sun's coming up, so the track temperature will start to rise a little bit, and I wonder if Ukbar is changing to the hards. Having said that though, with the sun not even fully up yet, I don't think the track is going to be anywhere near the sort of temperature to Dan's gone past
to accommodate hard tyres. Dan is up into P6,
yeah,
but he's got a lot less fuel than Ukbar. Ukbar's now got a full tank. Dan has got 2/3 of a tank. So he's got track position, but whether or not that's going to do him any good later on, we'll have to wait and see, because as you said, Matt, he might require a splash and dash at the end.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
And this is the interesting thing. Ukbar and Nicky both got the tyre choice right to go onto the softs when it got dark enough. If Ukbar's gone on the hards and it works, what a time to change to the hard tyre. If he ends up better than Dan, because I mean, if Ukbar changes to the hard tyre now, he could possibly go to the end of the race on that hard tyre.
Oh, Mazda's up
Mazda! Oh, Keeks as well!
Oh, no!
That's both
Keeks'
of them!
engine cover's gone. Yeah, it looks
Mazda.
like Keegs is getting himself into problems there.
Keegs
Oh,
and
what's
Mazda,
happening?
I think they've both lost their engine cover. They've both lost their engine cover. They've both ran into a spot above there, so I'm not sure what happened then as we jump back on board them. But Keegs all over the back of Mazda as they come down the straight again. He's within 7/10. He'll have that slipstream down the back straight as well. And don't forget now, if they've both made a mistake or touched each other, I wonder if Keegs has been on the back of Mazda and they've made contact somewhere, Andy.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. Both of them losing heaps of time there, and still a long way ahead, obviously, because they used to have been in a class of their own, but definitely not what either of these guys would have wanted there. Mazda's now still got that lead. He's still got very slender at this point, but great battle from these two. It looked like it spilled over a little bit, possibly just pushing the limits a little bit too much. A few comments coming in. Champ just mentioning where he is in in America, North Dakota, apparently, right up by Canada. Champ asking if products sell boxing gloves. I could use some right about now. I wonder what that's for.
Not too sure. That's Smoky Devil staying out the way of Mazda. Keegs using the slipstream. Oh, Smokey tries to come back across onto the racing line. I don't know if he saw Keegs or not, but Keegs hasn't lost that much time. He's going to come back at Mazda. He's really pushed him. He's lost his bonnet, but he's not stopped momentum. He's not stopped his momentum. Look at Keegs. He's pushing this car everywhere he can try.
Mazda's a bit deep, and Keegs is going to get the exit. Mazda getting well out of shape on the exit of the corner, but Mazda looks like the curves just kicked in there and managed to recover that after he looked like he got a little bit out of shape coming out of the corner. Keegs is still in the slipstream here. Keegs missing his front wing, his front bonnet, and his headlights. So,
there's Dan. They're about to put a lap on Orthodubs. Dan, just move, Dan, move. Whoever the Ferrari is, that'll be DJ Phil as well, because this is an epic battle. And is Keegs going to look for the lunge up the inside? No, he's not. Dan's trying to stay wide. There's a Ferrari there. Keegs having a look.
Oh my goodness.
Dan's lapping DJ Phil. Mazda's lapping all of them. Keegs is coming through as well. This is carnage at the minute. Dan stays wide. Mazda's got a good run. Keegs got a bit held up by DJ Phil coming into the corner. And Dan's pulling across. Keegs manages to get back in front. And this is the battle for the lead. Oh dear.
DJ Phil had 3 cars lapping him all at once. So he probably didn't know what to do. He could just see his mirrors filling up with cars. He's probably thinking, what am I meant to do?
The other one I feel sorry for is Dan, because Dan's trying to lap DJ Phil and put the laps in to pull away from Ukbar. Then he gets the 2 leaders for the lead coming, as well as thinking, I've got to get past DJ Phil. There's a corner coming up. I've got these 2 charging behind me. It's everywhere.
God.
Keegs tried to get revenge for the F1 the other week.
It's a war on 2 fronts for unorthodox, and somehow he's got through that one. But
how them 4 made it through that without anybody going off was absolutely brilliant. Just to go back to Jamie's comment in the chat, Keegs trying to get revenge over Mazda for the other week on F1. That Bozzy boy, aka Liam Gamer, did a stream on his personal channel. We did 100% to Zandvoort, and Keegs was giving it the I'm giving it the big into Mazda on F1, and Mazda went, come on, I've not raced F1 yet, not even been on the game. I'll race you 100% around Zandvoort. And Mazda won the well, he didn't win the race. I won the race from Rabbit Joe, then Mazda, but he beat Keegs, and Keegs is obviously in for revenge. That's what Jamie's on about. For those who got confused by it, Keegs clearly in for revenge to beat Mazda. After all of that, DJ Phil's had to go to the pits. He's a bit traumatised. He's had to go and cool off in the pit lane for a little bit. And
well, you know what, Mazda jumps on what is probably Keegs' strong point, F1, and he's going to beat him. So now Keegs is trying to beat Mazda at his own game, which is endurance racing. And at the moment, he's keeping himself in with a shout, but Mazda, the master of driving these cars, and I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. I still feel like he's got a little bit more in the tank. I don't know, I just have a little hunch that he's got something in his locker still. So we might be still yet to see the best of Mazda here in this race, but we know he's obviously won the 24-hour race back in December around Daytona Road Course. We've lost somebody from the session here. I believe it's a disconnection because it's not any of the front runners. I'm just going up the order now. Who is it? It is
that Bozzy boy. Bozzy boy
disconnected.
That Bozzy boy's disconnected. No, I'm not quite sure. I know he's had problems with his internet recently this past week, because he disconnected race 2 of Daytona Road Course, of Indy Road Course last week due to internet problems. So I wonder if that is an issue for him at the moment. I'm just going to give him a message.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for Liam, as we see Mazda's now gapped Keegs a little bit, not massively, but a second and a half currently separating these 2 leaders. They were really going at it for a few laps not too long ago, but now Mazda seems to have this race under control. The rest of the pack's pretty strung out right now, so not really a whole lot going on. These 2 currently the closest battle out on the track, but we've got 21 people watching the stream right now here on the Simplay Motorsport YouTube channel. And guys, if you like what you see here, drop a like on the video. Let's get this video to 20 likes if we can. And if you want to get involved in the on-track action, then go to facebook.com/Simplay Motorsport and sign up to, well, coming to the end of the current season for the GT3 series. But there will be another one coming up afterwards. And I believe if there's demand, Matt, is there going to be a third tier for...
Potentially the talks of an amateur division, so we'll have Pro-Am and amateur. Yeah, what's the gap between Rabbit Joe and Fury? That gap's about 4 seconds, I reckon. No, 11 seconds, so I was wrong. I've got my maths completely wrong. I don't see how it's that. 2 minute 19 behind Mazda, 2 minute 22 behind Mazda. That means 3 seconds. But according to the screen in the top middle, it says 9. Okay, the gap's either 3 or 9 seconds. I'd say it's more 9 seconds than 3.
Oh, 3 or 9. Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Has
Apparently
Keegs...
It's 1 now, but it's definitely not.
It's definitely not 1 second. Yeah, brilliant. Well worked out.
Project Cars.
Yeah, top stuff by Project Cars as always.
Great stuff.
Mazda, Keegs 2 seconds off the back of Mazda now. So is he just slowly dropping off the back of Mazda here at the
Hopefully
moment?
Not, because I want to see a good battle going on between these guys. We've seen them putting on a great show so far, but Mazda last time around coming into his own. I said earlier on that I don't think we've seen the full potential of Mazda, and it looks like he's now getting somewhere close to what we come to expect from this man here. He's doing 3 minute 24s. He's the fastest man out there by quite some way. We've got Keegs in the 326s, Rabbit Joe and Fury miles off of that sort of pace. Rabbit Joe in the 335s, Fury in the 345s. Mazda on another level here, and he's just taking it to the next stage here tonight. Does Keegs have anything left to try and respond to this? I guess we'll have to find out in the second half of this race here tonight. But Mazda currently showing what he's made of and why he won that 24-hour race around Daytona.
Just got that pace over Keegs now, and has Keegs got the fatigue set in? Is Mazda now got to the point where he's in the groove and in the swing of things? He's now 2.5 seconds clear of Keegs, so without putting a foot wrong, and you don't see Mazda make too many mistakes, whether it's GT3s or LMPs, you don't really see him make the mistakes. But yeah, Keegs here will want to make sure he gets this job done.
Yeah, for sure, but still a long way left to go and plenty of time for him to get himself back into contention. Looks like Rabbit Joe and Fury currently separated by 8 seconds at the moment, so I don't know if that gap is that Fury's dropping back. Oh, Fury's
that's
gone
why.
off. Oh no, he's gone. Oh, he can't get it going. Oh, Fury's race has just gone from bad to worse. Pardon me, gone from bad to worse. Is he about to retire the car? It looks like he's shaping up for retirement here. He's not moving.
Oh no, he's revved it forward.
Oh, very unfortunate there for Fury. Still, we get to see Fury's granddad in the comments section this evening. We have seen Fury's mum.
Oh no, Fury's granddad's commented.
Has he?
Yeah, very early doors. Fury's back going now.
Yeah, he's got to get back going again. Thank goodness for that. But he's now 40 seconds off the back of Rabbit Joe, so he's got a lot of work to do here in this race.
Keegs has had a scruffy lap, Andy. 3.5 seconds behind Mazda now.
Yeah, the Mazdas. I don't think it's not so much Keegs having a scruffy one. I think Mazda is just on it now. He's just gone up to... He's stepped it up a gear, hasn't he, Mazda? He's really just gone to extract every little bit of performance out of that car. He's
DJ Phil's
pushing
back
it to
in
his
the
full
car
potential
again.
right now.
In the pits again, sorry, it's DJ Phil. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there with DJ Phil, but he's back in the pits. So I'm not sure what's gone off there.
Yeah, not ideal for DJ Phil. He is off and away again, but he's looks like KLF also in the pits as well, just coming in now. But KLF not having the best of races here. He's dropped off dropped out of the fight really with Smokey and Daniel Francis in the last sort of few laps or so.
And Kelly's got plenty of fuel in that car as well to keep going for a few more laps, hasn't he? He's got 33 litres in the tank. So he's got more than enough fuel to keep going. So it's strange that Kelly's pitted at this time as well.
Got to be a tyre change, you would imagine. Maybe putting the hard tyres on as the track temperature warms up a little bit.
Potentially, yeah. Oh, Keegs has caught Mazda.
Yeah. Oh, what's happened here? Who's
Keegs
on their
is
roof?
pitting. Where? Is that Fury?
Somebody was on their roof there, coming through the last chicane. As we see, Keegs is in
I think it was Fury. Look, Fury's only just got going at the last chicane.
Oh, Fury's race is going from bad to worse.
Now, I've just seen
Listen,
Keegs' fuel there, Andy. He said 13 litres. I think Keegs could have got another lap in. What's Mazda's fuel? Keegs could have definitely got another... Yeah, Keegs could have got another lap in. And they could have both pitted on the same lap. Now, is he changing to the hard tyre?
Well, this has the advantage ever so slightly for Mazda. I wouldn't have thought that he would be making a tyre change so impatiently, because obviously a lap to go until naturally his pit window would be open. So I wonder if Keegs is just taking the... maybe because he's changing tyres, he's probably just saying, "I'll go for it a lap early." It doesn't matter if we're a lap out of sync, because at the end of the day he's going on a longer strategy, so it will pay off for him regardless. But he will still need to come in for fuel at some point before the end of this race. I reckon he might be able to do this on two tanks. I'm not sure. No, actually, maybe not. Maybe not, thinking about it. No, he probably will have to pit a couple more times here in this race.
No, I think he'll have 2 or 3 more pit stops in this one, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Jamie Brazier in the chat,
so.
what's the most dramatic Le Mans moment anyone's seen? I'll tell you mine was when I watched it one year. I was young with my dad, and the Mercedes took off, and it literally, the air got under the car, and it flipped it in the air. Do you remember that one? Down the hill?
Are you talking about Anthony Davidson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was actually when I was young as well. I was, not that young, about 14 maybe. But I remember that one quite vividly. That was a pretty scary incident, that one. And he had to miss out on Sky F1's coverage that weekend because he was racing them in.
Oh no, I'm on about a different one.
Oh, not Davidson.
Not Davidson. No, there was a silver Mercedes, and it just taken off down the back straight.
I might have been a bit young. for that one.
You may have been a bit, because you're a bit younger than me. I'm only 28, but I feel old.
5 years between us, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel old now. I'm only 28, but I feel old now. Yeah, this Mercedes was going down the back straight, and the air just got underneath.
28's young. 28's young, mate.
Don't. And it just took off, and it ended up going over the barrier and rolling down this great hill. I can't remember who was driving it at the time, but yeah, what a surreal moment that was.
It can be scary in these cars. It can be terrifying. There was a driver who, I believe, tragically did lose his life when I watching Le Mans a few years ago. What's his name? Christensen.
I think so.
Thomas Christensen was his name, wasn't it?
I think so, something like that. Had a big shunt with the wall, didn't it?
It'd be a bit awkward if he's the winner and he's still alive, wouldn't it? Let me just Google this to try and clarify. I think it was though. What was it? No, he's a footballer. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a driver who raced at Le Mans. I'm sure there was a fatality a few years ago.
Wasn't it in a GT car?
It was in the first sort of sector of the lap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He went into the barriers pretty much flat out. His car didn't stop. His accelerator pedal got stuck to the floor. Oh, I'm trying to work out who it was.
I remember, I can't remember his name, but I know who you're on about. We've lost Fiori from the race. So we have lost Fiori from the race then. That's a shame then for Fiori.
Simonson. I was on the right lines, yeah. Simonson it was, not Christensen.
There we go. Fiori then out the race of this one. Mazda and Rabbit Joe into the pit. So Joe is pretty much a lap down on the race leader Mazda. Now we're on board Keegs. What can Keegs do as his rival is currently in the pits? What is Keegs going to do from here? So only 3 LMP1 cars. That will be your podium. Mazda, Keegs, Rabbit Joe. In what order? We don't know yet. Rabbit Joe coming out the pits. Mazda still in the pits. And where is Keegs going to pop out? In front, around by Mazda. It was about 1.5 seconds when he went into the pit lane. So let's see where Keegs will emerge. He's just coming down to the Porsche Curves right now. And he's got DJ Phil or KLF behind, just in front of him, and he gets past him relatively easy. Nice work there from both leader and back marker. Mazda still in the pit lane. Keegs will be coming up to the final 2 chicanes. Mazda still in the pit lane, and Keegs will be motoring down to these 2 chicanes. Here he comes. Mazda's away now. So this will be close.
I think he will just hold on ahead of Keegs, but it's going to be so tight as Keegs cuts the last chicane. Look at that.
Keegs.
Oh, Keegs, disappointing there, mate. We thought better of you. But Keegs is coming up towards the turn 1 now. Is Mazda going to hold on? I think he is just about. But it was that close between these two, and Mazda's going to be able to continue his way. But is he going to be able to hold on? Yeah, just about.
Just about. No, he's not. Keegs has got the run. Keegs. Oh no, I thought he had. He's not done him. I thought Keegs had the run.
The curves kicking in there for Mazda and managing to keep it on. Obviously, because he'd been using the brakes a bit more, it meant that he was saving up more battery power. So Mazda's launch out of turn 2 was so much more than
Oh,
Keeks.
Keeks! Oh, they touched! Mazda's held it together!
Oh, it comes together! Mazda just about keeps onto it. He's so lucky there that he managed to catch that one. But Keeks really showing Mazda that he is not going to be settling the second best tonight by any stretch. He's still absolutely seething from that F1 result where Mazda finished in front of him on 100% race around Zandvoort, and he is not going to let that happen again. He's going to go down fighting if he has to. As we see him in the slipstream here, he's going to have a little look on Mazda, has to brake and go back out of that one because he's not close enough coming into the braking zone, but Mazda just about holding on to this one by the skin of his teeth. And it looks like he's got a good exit out of the first chicane.
And they've got traffic as well, Andy. That is Welsh, Stovsloff and Unorthodox there. The traffic. So, Dan, there's going to be another 4-car pile-up in a minute with Dan, Stovsloff and the 2 leaders. Dan can't seem to get away from these 2 leaders with another car around them. But there goes Mazda putting a lap on Stovsloff and has that slipstream from the LMP2 car in front. Just saved Mazda there. Oh, he didn't manage to get the lap done. Oh, Keeks has lost it! Keeks has lost it! He's round on his own. And he's now...
He's recovered that so quickly, though,
yeah,
Matt, to be fair.
He has.
The ability that he has to just immediately spin that car around, getting it pointing in the right direction and throttle to the floor. Absolutely superb there from Keeks. He's only 3.5 seconds behind Mazda, and he's still in with a chance of taking this win. He's still in striking distance. There's hardly anything between these two in terms of when you consider how long they've been racing, an hour and 20 minutes, and they're separated by 2.5 seconds. That is absolutely nothing. It's been so evenly matched between these two over the course of this race. The Keeks there putting a lap, eventually managing to put a lap there on the LMP2 of his of Welshie. What was that? Actually, no. Hold on. No, Stealth's not even. Sorry, Stealth. But yeah, and nothing between these two at the front, and still Keeks very much. Within the shout of taking Mazda. If Mazda makes a little mistake, then it's going to be game on between these two again. As Keeks is putting a lap there on Dan. You see that rainbow coloured car, LMP2 of Unorthodox, and it looks like Keeks is getting past him relatively seamlessly there. Well done to Unorthodox for seeing those blue flags being waved. He's off on his way.
He's done well as Dan tonight. He's done well, and what is Dan actually on at the moment? It's 19, so due a pit stop anytime soon, Andy. Ukbar obviously on a different strategy to him. 24-second gap. Ukbar will get that lead back. Welshie in the pits.
We've lost the driver.
Yeah, Fury's gone. Fury went a while back. Yeah, that's a shame for Fury as well. But Ukbar and Dania, this is going to be an interesting fight on the strategies. Not so much Keeks and Mazda on track, but it's going to be a fight between the pit crews and the strategies here for Ukbar and Dan in the LMP2 class. Yeah, for sure, and it's all down to how far Ukbar can go. If he can keep these tyres going to the end of his stint in terms of the fuel, then he'll be very much in with a shout of taking Dan later on. And we know that Dan is going to have to go for... He's certainly going to be out of fuel quicker than Ukbar. Yeah. Whether or not he's going to have to come in for a quick fashion dash later on and take a surplus pit stop is, I guess, remains to be seen. But right now, 24 seconds separating these two. Ukbar's keeping it going, continuing to lap pretty similarly to Dan. I believe these two are both on the soft tyres still. So we're led to believe, yeah, they are. So we're led to believe. Just want to say, massive shout out to Sooty Apex here, who is still in front of Stovsloff and Welshie in the GT, and them two are in the LMP2s. In front of them on the total classification. Sooty Apex having a fantastic drive at the minute. Due a pit stop in the next couple of laps. He's only got 24 litres in. The GTs use about 6 litres of fuel a lap. So he's got 4 or 5 laps. Ragging that Corvette around this track tonight, and he seems to be conserving it pretty nicely. He's minus the front right headlights. Still got those headlights beaming despite the relatively sunny weather here at Le Mans right now. But he's a couple of seconds ahead of Stovsloff, and we know he's got the straight line speed over Stovsloff, but Stovsloff should be much quicker through the corners. I think that gap also exaggerated a little bit. It's not as low as it looks. It says they're right on each other on the timing screen, but they're not. They're 34 seconds apart on the time above, so I'm not quite sure what that's in relation to. But Fury's granddad, Fury kept spinning, flipping, but was also lagging, hence the retirement. So I wonder if he's gone to save the lag. Oh, Keeks leads this race. Yeah, Mazda's made a moment there. Looks like he's had a bit of a skirmish
Keeks goes
Oh,
up the
no,
inside
Keeks!
of the Oh no! That's the commentator's curse once again, Matt. They're striking, and it looks like he's now well off the back of Mazda. Oh, you've got to feel for Keeks. Just as it looks like every time he has a little bit of a dawn, as something seems to be going right for him, it then goes catastrophically wrong.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So the person in the Jamie Braces just texted me. The person in the Mercedes that I was on about was Mark Webber and Peter Dumbrex. I believe that's how you say it, Dumbrex.
Right.
His Mercedes, and it just took off, and then it just like flipped in the air and went over the barrier into the trees. And it was like,
oh my god!
Like the wind had just got underneath the car and it just lifted it, flipped it in the air a few times. I'll have to get the link on YouTube and send it. It was crazy. It was surreal. Like it just took off from him, just went. And it was like, wow, that's...
Out of the blue?
Yeah, just going down the back straight, and just, like I say, just the wind got under the car and it just took off, and it was like, wow, that has gone. And like it flipped over the trees, into the trees, and rolled down the hill a bit, and it was like, holy, that's a big crash.
Imagine getting back in the car after that. Especially if it happens out of the blue for unexplained reasons, you know? It's like it must be pretty terrifying to jump back in after something like that. Especially if you don't know what caused it to happen. That's a pretty terrifying experience to say the least, I would imagine. But was it actually Webber himself, or was it the other guy?
I don't know. It doesn't say. It's just said on Google there that it was Webber and someone else. Just looking
I'm going to actually pull this up.
Just looking on Dan's stream here. Dan's pitting in this lap, so the moment of the pit stops between Dan and Ukbar will be decided as he's going to pit this lap. So this is important for Dan. He's coming into the pit line now, so should be in the pits any minute on our screens. But for Dan here, this is important to see when he'll be away as to when Ukbar will get round to passing. There you see Dan in the pits. Keegs now has 4.5 seconds to make up on Mazda. Can he do it? He keeps getting close to Mazda, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do by the end of this race. And I will have to get a few of these guys in as well for a chat at the end of this race, because it will be an absolute... Good to get a chat with these boys. We'll have to get on Orthodubs in for a chat. Oh, Stealth Sloth's just pitted, but has got himself a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So poor old Stealth Sloth. His race goes from bad to worse. And if he wanted to pass Sutty Apex, he's got to do it and pull away by 10 seconds now. Sutty could be on for a P6 over the two LMP2 cars. What an achievement that is. The Andy Kerr trademark strikes again. Someone needs to tell him to stop talking positive about drivers.
I'm just watching that video. That is unreal.
Just goes, doesn't it? Just takes off, and it's like, holy, that's gone.
Just lifts off.
Yeah.
If it I'll tell you what, if it hadn't flipped forwards, that thing would have just kept on going up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You can see it's only the it's the air getting pushed back down that causes it to even come back. It was going vertically upwards, and then it's like, that's unreal. That is surreal.
Yeah, and it was just
really,
absolutely crazy.
Blimey. Oh my god. That's the first time I've ever seen that. That is unreal.
Oh, 1999, so yeah. No, it was just crazy to see it just
it
take
is Webber
off.
In the car as well.
Oh, it was Webber in the car. Oh, there we go then.
Yeah, looks like a very young Mark Webber sat on the wall afterwards.
Wow.
Can't believe he walked away from that.
To go from that into F1.
He's a lucky man, I'll tell you that.
Very, very lucky man. That though, just the way it goes, it's like it's as if it hits a bit of a bump, the air gets underneath and bang, up in the air it goes. But yeah, I remember watching that live with my dad and it was like, whoa, that is crazy.
Scary stuff there. But Mark Webber then went on to drive for Red Bull, multiple race winner in F1, so this goes to show he didn't let his didn't let that cast any fear into him. He just kept at it, and racing drivers got to have big balls. They really do. To get back in the car after that.
No, he definitely did. What a guy to get back in the F1 car and to be as competitive as he was and not let his confidence shake him. Keeks here then, 4.1 behind Mazda. Gaining on Mazda though, rapidly. A couple of tenths around this Porsche Curves. Keeks is gaining on Mazda, so does Keeks have the upper end round here? Ukbar's got past Unorthodox then, and it. And is, according to the timing screen, 20 seconds in front. There we go, yeah, and the timing screen is actually right now.
20 seconds in front, but the fuel loads have now flipped, obviously. Ukbar, you did have more fuel now. Dan has got a full tank of fuel. Ukbar currently running pretty low on 20 odd litres. So I guess the question now is pretty much it's a lottery of where they are on the fuel once we get towards the later minutes of the race. It's going to come down to a bit of, I wouldn't say luck, it's strategy as well.
We've got two interesting battles on the track. We've got Mazda and Keegs who are trying to battle on the track. Keegs are obviously trying to gain back on Mazda. And then we've got this battle here for LMP2, which is very much strategy and pit stop wise. We've got two very different battles on the track. Beth Duffin in the chat, come on Keegs, don't let Mazda win. Indefinitely not. Keegs will not let Mazda win this race. Keegs has gained on Mazda again, half a second at the moment.
Second even in that lap.
Yeah.
Brilliant lap that last time around from Keegs. He's currently doing laps that matching the fastest laps of Mazda.
Yeah.
So quickly, I hate doing this. You know how much I hate doing this, Matt, but
Stop
it's a long race. I'm just going to quickly pull this up just for a sec.
10-second penalty.
Mazda 23.5 is his fastest lap. Keegs 23.8. These two so evenly matched.
Wow.
Honestly, their fastest lap times.
And
Nothing
Keegs,
between them.
hats off to Keegs, because Keegs hasn't really shown his pace. They've got the regular viewers that watch the Pro Series this year. Keegs hasn't had his normal pace this year. Keegs hasn't looked his quick self that we've seen him in the past. But here in the LMPs, he's kind of found his groove and he's really starting to take the fight. I tell you what, he could do with carrying some of this speed over for his Haas team tomorrow over at Motive Racing. Check them guys out tomorrow night, 6:45 for Formula 1 F1 2020 round Paul Ricard, myself, Keegs, Gary from Simplay, and NJ from Simplay, over Big Boy Brazier as well. I forgot about him, he's new to the series now. Over racing on that. The Pink Panthers, me and Gary, Keegs in the Haas, NJ in the Williams, and Brazier in the Mercedes, going up against some very good guys. Dan's there, Nicky's there, Fury as well, and Green Pies and Just Jose.
I think it's a different Nicky.
Is it a different Nicky?
Nicky Allard's a different guy from
right.
Yeah, Nick's a different person. I believe anyway. I'm not sure actually. I think I've seen him on the same track before, so I think they are a different person.
There we
Nicky
go.
Nicky was meant to be racing in the F1. He's a reserve for the F1 Championship, but he hasn't actually got on track, I don't think, yet.
I know Kieran's filled in. Kieran Argent, regular here as well, has filled in for the last couple of races at
he raced at Baku and Montreal, didn't he?
Baku and Montreal, yeah, and has taken a 6th and a 8th. So it's not a bad start.
Last time at Montreal, we didn't actually stream that one. I couldn't make it. I had work that evening.
And I was fighting.
We'll be back on.
I was fighting with Green Pies for that race for like 6 laps as well, and for the lead. And it wasn't. There's no stream. Bugger! Damn it! Damn it! That might have been my moment of glory for the season.
I'll tell you what, though. You and Gary have been getting progressively quicker and closing that gap to Green Pies than just Jose. You two, I think, are going to end up being on the same pace as them. It's going to be an interesting season. I think the championship.
Oh, that's gone.
Honestly, it's looking like it's between Green Pies and
just Jose. Yeah, that's already done. Me and Gary firmly have our hearts set on the constructors at the minute. Being a team, obviously GDB's missed a few and Penguin Dude's missed a few or retired in a few. So me and Gary are firmly looking at the constructors scoring well. Doesn't help though, Gary. If you're watching, you've got to finish races. You've crashed out in 2 of them.
Yeah, Gary's been a bit inconsistent, hasn't he? He's had a couple of podium finishes. I'd say he's always got the pace, but just that little consistency part.
Do you know what that made me laugh was Monaco? He span about 20 times at that race at Monaco. Somehow didn't crash out the race. He must have had brand new front wings every time he pitted. Somehow didn't crash out the race and got 9th, and he went, I'll take 2 points. And I went, well, we need points for the constructors. You're normally good round here. Gary races that though. Can you believe Gary races that on the pad?
He races F1 on the pad.
Yeah.
Nutcase.
Turns off the wheel and races it on the pad and is as quick as he is on the pad, and I don't get how. I've tried and I'm nowhere near.
I don't know how anybody races on the pad, but apparently the F1 game's slightly easier on the pad than Project Cars 2 is. I haven't given it a go myself, but to be fair, I just don't feel like it doesn't feel like I'm doing it properly if I'm racing on the pad. I'll be honest with you.
Exactly. I know what you mean.
It's if I know that it's not necessarily quicker than the wheel, but to me, using a controller is cheating because you haven't got that authenticity of a wheel. But that's another story.
Something I've noticed here: Keegs within 2 seconds of Mazda.
He is, yeah. So the gap's coming back down again, and look at Keegs. Almost upping in the 3-minute 23s last time around.
Champs just noticed. Did Keegs just cut all of the chicane? Did Keegs cut the chicane?
Let me rewind the stream and have a look at this. I'll be disappointed if he did,
Oh, same here.
I'm very disappointed. If
Which chicane, champ? If you're listening, which chicane? Was it the final chicane?
No, it looks alright to me. It looks alright to me. No, he's fine.
The final chicane?
No, he's fine. I just watched.
No, he has. He's just cut the final chicane.
Did he completely?
He cut the final chicane.
What? Completely missed it out?
Yeah, went straight across the gravel. Oh, Keegs, come on. Well,
thing is, what we have here at Simplay is based on trust. At the end of the day,
yeah,
we've got a system where we have the penalties off in order to have better racing, because the penalties do often ruin it when you have stupid penalties being given out for drivers putting two wheels off the track onto the gravel. You know, and you have great racing, and then it gets ruined by people being given stupid penalties for making moves off the track and stuff, when in reality it's just been a good fight. But this situation just kind of is exactly the reason why a lot of leagues do use penalties. And
yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I'm disappointed, Keeks. I am. That's a shame.
I know it's for fun, and I know it's a bit of a fun event, but you still want to try and do it on merit, don't you? You don't want to be cutting corners and cheating. But Keeks, make sure you take that final chicane this time. We're watching you now. Otherwise, we'll just give you an automatic disqualification, and Rabbit Joe will get second, and then Alan Peter will get third overall. I bet that's never happened before at Le Mans. Yeah, Keegs needs to make sure he stays on the track here for this final part of the chicane. It's a shame, because like you say, Andy, you want to give the drivers the freedom and the trust, and then you hate to get shot in the foot like that. And yeah, what a shame to see that. But let's hopefully see.
Hopefully it was, what it could be.
He's done it. He's made it this time.
Hopefully this turns out to be the case. Maybe he missed his braking point and just went over the gravel. You know, hopefully fingers crossed that was the case, and we don't see any more of that.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's gained another 8 tenths on most of that lap, and this time he's done that within the confines of the track limits. So it's looking like a good fight between these two. And Mazda 326 last time around. Still this battle raging on. Looks like these two are the only two really fighting it out on track at the moment. Very good spot there from Champ, and he's saying, "Where is my medal?" Well, I think he'll be getting a promotion at the Project Cars 2 Secret Services pretty soon.
Sutty's pitted, so he's lost out to a place from Welshie, but he's still on track ahead of Stealth Sloth. And how far in front, I could not tell you, because he's apparently 40 seconds behind Stealth Sloth, but yet he's in front of him. That timing screen has gone mental today. He's 40 seconds behind Stealth Sloth's time, but he's in front of him on the track.
Is absolutely
he's 5 seconds up the road from Stealth Sloth, but the timing screen on the left is saying he's 40 seconds behind, so I don't know where he is. Well, we do know there is Stealth Sloth in the background, but Sutty Apex, what a job he has done. 85 litres in that car. That should see him through to one more pit stop, I reckon, for this man.
Yeah, hell of a job there from Sutty. And he is about, let's just count the gap, it's about 5-6 seconds. He's certainly not 40 seconds behind Stealth Sloth, but the timing would lead us to believe. But Sutty's really got the best out of that Corvette tonight. He's not actually lapping that much quicker than the other guys now, but he's just been so consistent. He hasn't really put a foot wrong throughout the entire race. So far in the pits, by the looks of it.
Yeah, this is the interesting one then. So Ukbar in the pits. Could have squeezed another lap out, just maybe. I wouldn't have liked to at 10 litres. I'd have been more comfortable to around 11. Me and Kelly worked out last night. So Dan then should get the LMP2 class lead at this moment in time, as that's probably him you can hear coming out the final chicane. And there indeed it was. There he goes into P2. Liam Gamer, that Buzzy Boy in the chat. How long's left? Just over an hour left. Shame you disconnected, buddy, but nice to see you here in the stream chatting with us in this one. And for an Orthodubs, obviously the alternate pit strategy. 53 litres left in that car. Now I'm just going to load up the picture Mazda sent me the other day to do with laps that the cars can do. I presume he's in the Nissan in that LMP2 is Dan. I take it.
Yeah, he's in the Ligier Nissan.
So that can get 10. So's Ukbar, so that can get 10 laps out of that car, it can. Although that's just 75 litres in the tank. Dan, Ukbar's just, so 10 laps they can get in that. So Ukbar 10 laps from now will be on about, yes, they've still got plenty of pit stops left in them. And this is still going to be a fight to the end.
I reckon it might be a one-stopper for Ukbar, you know?
You reckon? Yes,
I reckon
potentially.
Ukbar might be able to do a one-stopper. In which case, let's just work it out, right? So
in which case, Dan will be
can do-
2-stopping. His second stop will be a splash and dash, like we've said.
But this is the big thing now, because Dan, 51 litres of fuel. Obviously it's about 7 litres a lap.
Yeah.
But having said that, he's still got to get around this stuff as well. I don't know. Maybe he could go 6 laps after this one. That'll take him to around the 30. I'm trying to work this one out. But this is it'll take him to around the 36 minute mark, I reckon, until he has to come in again. I might be able to stretch it to that point. At that point, it would be very close indeed.
It would be very close. It's going to be an interesting battle, this one, on terms of the strategy. Keegs in the pit lane.
If I was Dan right now, I would come in, put in a little bit of fuel just to fill the tank up, and then maybe come out a little bit behind Ukbar, but just try and outpace
yourself on
him.
the same strategy as Ukbar kind of thing. Yeah.
Maybe try and come out somewhere around him, possibly with him, and then fight him, because we know that Dan is a little bit quicker than Ukbar. Not massively, but he has got a slight advantage in terms of pace. Ukbar, though, is one of those drivers who's so consistent and just keeps going, keeps plodding along. Yeah. So you can never really write Ukbar out of it. Dan needs to keep himself on the right tracks and stay within those limits. If he gets off onto the gravel, it could really cost him. But he needs to just keep going, keep doing what he's doing. So Ukbar is definitely going to be a contender all the way until the finish here. But I reckon Dan has just got to maybe come in now, put a little bit of fuel in the car, fill the tank up, and then he's on a one-stopper to the end after he's done that.
Interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on what Dan does and keep an eye on the lap times. Obviously, ignore Ukbar's lap time from this lap because he is on his out lap from his pit. We'll see if Dan does pit, see if he's listening and has taken our advice. Can't see anything on his stream yet in the bottom right hand corner. That is Dan's stream. You see his onboard footage.
It's gone.
What's gone?
Oh, have you put it back up?
I've just put it up, yeah. I've just put it up. I keep taking it on and off. So this is Dan's onboard stream and there's no pit in sign there, so he's clearly not thinking of coming in at this moment in time. He'd have thought he'd have had... Oh, he is. He's listening.
Here he comes. So
where is Ukbar then? Because a splash and dash pit stop here for Dan would be very, very quick in and out sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's not the longest of pit lanes here at Le Mans.
No.
So obviously with the pit entry being quite advantageous. Where is Ukbar right now? He's just coming in towards the final section of the lap now. Dan probably will be about 10 seconds in the box. He's just got to put a little bit of fuel in the car, not too much, about 15-20 litres of fuel, and then he should be off and on his way again. See how long he is. There we go. The fuel hose is off. Lollipop is up. It looks like he's about to get going. Where's Ukbar? Ukbar's going to jump him.
Yeah.
But where's Dan? How close is he going to be? Is Dan? He's filled the fuel up. So what's he waiting for now?
Is he changing tyres?
He might be, you know. But is he going to be able to get? He should be able to go. He'll be able to go an hour on those tyres.
I'd have thought so. Yeah, I'd have thought so. But I'd have thought he'd be able to have got to the end on them tyres. So he's lost out a bit of time to Ukbar, but they're on very similar strategies now. So let's see what Dan can do.
I wonder what state Ukbar's tyres are in.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll know if Dan changed tyres because his onboard footage will tell us, won't it?
It will. It didn't seem to have changed tyres, although looking at them, they are some good clean rubber. They're all quite high on the rubber chart.
He was. I believe he was. I'm just let me make this full screen and have a close look. I think he was changing. Yeah, he did. He changed tyres.
There we go then.
Yeah.
So Dan has changed tyres then. So fresh rubber.
He was up on the jacks. Yeah, on his screen he was up on the jacks, and you could just see there he was the middle graphic, and you know he got the fuel on the left.
No, see it. Yeah. So no, he did change tyres.
He's 20 seconds behind Ukbar. He will have fresh rubber towards the end. And the big question now is what sort of state are Ukbar's tyres in, and is he going to need to change them as well? Because if he does need to change tyres, then this is going to push the momentum towards Dan. Still not thrown into his hands. It's not going to play straight into his lap, but certainly he's got a good opportunity here in this race. This fight for the LMP2 class win tonight still rages on. Currently Mazda and Keegs separated by 45 seconds.
Yeah,
but,
Keegs is pitted.
Mazda needs to come in soon. Yeah,
Mazda's got to
just come in.
Yeah, Mazda's got to pit this lap. He's not going to make it to the end on that. Keegs has just pitted. So it'll be interesting to see what the gap will be after that. Will Mazda change tyres? That'll be an interesting one to watch. The gap between Keegs and Mazda at 45 seconds. 2 minutes 57 back to Joe. So nearly a whole lap back to Rabbit Joe from Keegs' point of view at the moment. Rabbit Joe is a lap down from Mazda.
Keeks can one stop from here because he's got 49 litres left in the tank, so he can go at least another 6 laps here in this stint. Well, I wonder actually.
No, I think the LMP1 seemed to pit a bit more than the LMP2s.
That's true.
Because you've got to think, every lap an LMP1 does, they could lap the LMP... Every 10 laps that they get out of the car, they could lap the LMP2s twice in that time, pretty much. So, you know, they...
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe Keeks has got a 2 stop from here, but Mazda probably has to, I don't know,
I'd say Mazda's still got a 2-3 stop. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Mazda obviously has to stop this lap, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out, and if he has to change tyres as well. That'll be another interesting factor. Sutty has lost out to Stealth Sloth, so we are now back in all classification order. So Sutty as well is 9 seconds behind Stealth Sloth, but he's done a cracking job. He's 1 minute 9 ahead of Daniel Francis. So Sutty Apex here, really doing the business in this GTE class. Hats off to him. Hats off to all the other GTE drivers. Daniel Francis, Smokey Devil, KLF and DJ Phil as well. Not easy this, and I know Kelly was saying last night he's excited but nervous at the same time because it's a long old race in one go. It's not like he can do a sprint race and a feature race and have a break in between. You know, it's 2 hours 40 in one go. It's a long haul.
Absolutely, and once you're committed to that, it can be a bit daunting, but all of these guys have done really well. To the 12 lads out on the track, absolutely fantastic job tonight, guys. Really proud of all of you, and to do all in one go, it's obviously the 24-hour race a little bit different because most of the drivers were taking sporadic breaks here and there. I reckon a couple of hours in, there were a lot of drivers turning the AI on and letting the computer drive for them. So it wasn't the same scenario. In this one, it's not really a race where you would expect anybody to put the AI on. It's not quite in that sort of that range. So you would expect everybody to be driving the full distance here in this 2.4 2-hour 40 race. You see Master into the pits. Here he comes.
Just looking at the comments in the chat. Evening to Xmart. Dan flying the flag for Team Prolapse. Has Prolapse recruited an army while I haven't been looking what's gone on here. He's changing tyres. Yes, Champ says Xmart. Xmart as well saying, I love the little picture of you on board cam. Great work from the broadcast guys. Very professional. Thank you very much. Just brought something new. Obviously it will pop on and off screen every now and again. Something new that we are trying out. Hopefully to get a bit more of a perspective ahead of our next charity event, which will be the Monaco 100% Grand Prix for charity in the off season again. Just something a little bit different. We're hopefully going to bring a bit more of in our fun race. I tell you what I'd have loved to have seen is an onboard footage of not Mazda's race, but a camera of Mazda streamed to YouTube, and then like get Mazda's camera on my OBS so I could turn it on and off every now and again to see what he was doing in that 24-hour race.
Imagine what he looked like.
He'd still be driving Daytona. He'd be walking away with his arm still in front of him, turning the corners as he goes. Curves button on, using his Curves button every now and again. Oh, Keeks
I imagine Mazda probably slept in his racing chair after that race.
Just race ended.
Couldn't get up to bed. Yeah, it's like he tries to get up, just can't move. He's paralysed.
Now Keeks here, and he's taken the lead from Mazda, so his early pit stop and the change of strategy for Keeks has helped him take the lead here. Now a 3:23.9. Hopefully he's not cut any more of the track. We know he's done a 3:23.8 and was matching Mazda's pace early doors, but he's took the lead of this race here. Is he on the soft tyre?
Keeks knows that we're onto him now. He's probably not going to try that one again because he won't get away with it a second time. But
now has he pitted for the soft tyre here? Because he was in the pits for an awfully long time and fell 40 odd seconds behind Mazda, so I'm wondering if Keeks has changed tyre, put the softs on, and with them being a bit grippier and a bit quicker, they've managed to put out a bit of pace. Maybe that's a tactic he's gone for. That's why he pitted so early compared to Mazda.
Very possibly, yeah. But we don't know whether or not he's still got to do a couple more stops in this race because he should be able to go another. I don't know, maybe possibly another 5 laps on these with this fuel.
So let me just take a look back at that picture. He's in the Marek, so that can do 9 laps at 67 litres. So he's nearly on half a tank. Half a 7, 3.5, isn't it? So 35 litres is half a tank.
I reckon he's got a 2 stop from here.
Yeah, he's got about another 4 or 5 laps left in the tank at the moment, including this lap he's on. So maybe 4 laps after this one. Whereas the Toyota that Mazda as well does 67 litres, but only does 8 laps. So Keegs actually gets a lap extra out of his car than Mazda. So if he has changed to the soft tyre, maybe a way for Keegs to pull a bit of a gap and maybe change his tyres every pit stop sort of thing.
Yeah, it could very well be. But I reckon Mazda's in the box seat here because I think Mazda can go longer into this stint than he's currently on. 25 litres more fuel, he can definitely do about 3-4 more laps than Keegs can. But yeah, it's all going to depend on where the summer falls, isn't it? Really, that's going to be what it comes down to.
It really is. And if Keegs has put the soft on, how many times does he change tyres? That's the other thing he's got to do as well. So, you know, it could add to his pit stop time as well. Champ in the chat. Fun fact, Dan won the Motive Racing LMP2 title while not winning a single race, and over the last 3 races had only the 3rd best average finish of 3.16. Well, that just goes to show how consistent Dan was, if you ask me. Brilliant stuff. I won a title once, I won a GT5 championship once. I didn't win a single race, barely got on the podium, but I was just more consistent than the other drivers.
I've got a fun fact. Do you know that Champ won 5 races in a row in that season?
Yes.
But didn't even finish in the top 2 in the championship.
Crazy. Just goes to show, doesn't it, how consistency is a thing.
Consistency is key.
And even in short seasons like you guys run at Motive, even in, you know, what do you do, 6-7 tracks, obviously sometimes a sprint and a feature race in that series.
We're up to 8 for this season, but
there we go.
Usually 6.
But 6-7 races on such a short, sweet calendar, consistency is key. You know, not just taking the few short wins here and there. Consistency is key.
That's it. You can't be sporadically performing in terms of those seasons. But Dan did the business over the course of that one. He came second in a lot of the races. It was. I'm sure he must have won 1 or 2 races. I'm still trying to comprehend that one, but maybe Champ is right. Possibly he did not take a single win throughout the course of his championship season, but he certainly made up for that in the Formula Renaults. He won about 3 or 4 races in the Formula Renaults this series, and ironically came up short in that one. Finished runner-up.
Oh, Dan loves a runner-up finish. Tier 2 Clios, Formula Renault.
Was that you, Matt? You sounded so different there.
Yeah, I put my hands over the mic, sort of whispered it.
You sounded like a different person.
Yeah, I just kind of went, finish runner-up, yeah, runner-up.
He came runner-up in that one. He didn't win that one.
If you missed it, he was a 2-time runner-up. Although him and Sutty, whenever him and Sutty speak, they've got a good running joke between the two of them. Because obviously, Sutty, our runner-up in our season 1 at the GT3s here at Simplay. Him and Dan just call each other the runner-up team now. If they was to team up, they'd be team runner-up because Dan's finished runner-up twice and Sutty's done it once. So yeah, a good bit of banter between the two of them.
Yeah, Tier 2 Clio Cup runner-up. Dan from season 5 at Motive Racing. If you guys haven't already seen that, then make sure you check out Dan on his roof. Coming through turn 1 at Monza Short, always quite an exciting sight.
Listen to me and Andy just scream down the microphone. It is brilliant.
It was absolutely golden, and it's still yet to go in the bloopers, which we haven't done yet. We've been promising to do it for many seasons, but probably at the end of season 25 or something like that, then we might put out a bloopers video. Who knows? Do
you know what we need to do? We need to do your blooper from F1 the other week at Monaco.
It'll be Motive's 10-year anniversary. We'll put out a bloopers video or something.
we need your Mercedes-Benz formation lap round Monaco, I think, in that bloopers video as well.
Oh god, that's the most embarrassing thing. Yeah, if you don't already know what we're talking about there, guys, pretty much I forgot to press spectate loading up for the Monaco Grand Prix. And I had to find a way to retire the car. Didn't realise, obviously, that you can't retire the car on a formation net. Tried crashing into the wall, stand up, went straight on, flat out into the barriers, couldn't crash, and ended up trying to then do a 10-point turn, trying to get the car out of the barriers, back onto the track. And then I tried to drive the wrong way down the track to get disqualified. Still couldn't get disqualified.
It was brilliant. Do you know the other thing I'm going to say as well is check out Indy Road Course from last Thursday at Simplay Motorsport. Obviously, Andy, you missed that race. There was a huge pile up. End of lap 1. Fury lost a wheel and everything in his Porsche. The wheel got ripped from his car. Gary was involved in it. Gary goes the wrong way down the start line to hopefully U-turn to the pit lane entrance to pit because he had that bad of damage. The car automatically reset him because he was going the wrong way after 10 seconds. See, we stood watching Fury, me and Kelly watching Fury reverse with no wheel, and all of a sudden you see Gary go backwards down the start line, and then you just see him come back forwards after about 20 seconds, and we're like, oh, you didn't fancy it then, Gary? You didn't fancy pitting? It was absolutely comical, but Fury got walloped by Gary, got walloped by Kieran. It was just melee. This is all after Fury had span on his own, and it was just like, it was a Days of Thunder moment. All you saw was smoke, and Gary pinned it and caught Fury, then Kieran caught him. Oh, Fury's car had a wheel ripped from his car. He had to reverse down to the pits and get in the pit. It was crazy. It was insane. And then Gary just went the wrong way. It was absolutely hilarious. I'm going to step away for just 2 moments, just make myself a quick drink and go for a toilet break. Andy, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, so there we go. Matt's just popping off for a moment, but we got Keegs leading this race right now by just under 5 seconds to Mazda. And Keegs is lapping quickest of anybody right now, lapping consistently in the 3 minute 23, so it appears that he is sticking to the confines of the track as well, which is good to see. Mazda, though, has got a bit more fuel in his tank and will be able to go further into this stint. Also, there's the possibility that Keegs will need a splash and dash at the end in order to have enough fuel to get to the checkered flag. Just under 45 minutes left to go in this 2 hour, 40 minute race. We've almost been on track for 2 hours now. These drivers have done an absolutely brilliant job so far of keeping their cars pointing in the right direction and going the right way, keeping them out of the barriers, and everything has gone pretty smoothly right now for these drivers in terms of keeping it in check. Some drivers have been binning it into the wall, as you would expect over the course of a 2 hour odd race, but yeah, it's been very nicely negotiated by most of these guys. As we see, Keegs has pulled out a bit more of a gap to Mazda over the course of the last sort of lap or so. Now 6 seconds separating these two at the front. Rabbit Joe currently 4 minutes off of these guys in the LMP, rounding out the LMP1 category. We've got Opar currently leading the LMP2s. He's got 10 seconds back to Unorthodox, but Unorthodox has got a little bit more fuel in the car. Plus, Unorthodox also is on fresh rubber. He changed his tyres in the last pit stop. So Opar looking to try and go to the end on this current set that he's on. His tyres are going to be a lot older than Dan's once we get into the final few laps. Dan, otherwise known as Unorthodox, currently sat in P5. Last time around though, these two pretty much nip and tuck in terms of lap times. 3 minute 41 from Opar and 3:42 from Dan. So Unorthodox not really closing the gap on Opar like you would expect him to on fresh rubber. But Matt, we've got the Opar and Unorthodox currently separated by 10 seconds. Keegs and Mazda separated by 5 seconds. So the fight for the class wins from the LMP1s and LMP2s still very much on. GTEs is being currently bossed by Sutty Apex, who has got a massive
He's got 23 seconds over Welsh in the LMP2. Never mind Dan.
6 minutes ahead of Daniel Francis. Unreal.
I don't think that timing screen's right.
it might. Well, no, actually, no, it's not, because Smokey Devil says there's 18 minutes behind him, yet he's behind Dan, so I don't quite know what's occurring there. But Daniel Francis is into the pits. Smokey Devil is. So Sutty's got at least a 3 minute lead. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
3 minute lead over Daniel Francis and Smokey Devil. But Daniel Francis looks like he missed his pit box there. He's had to backtrack a little bit.
Oh, what is going on there?
Yeah, there's something very suspect going off with that Corvette. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, and he's away. Okay.
I wonder if he maybe stepped away from the rig and his car was just rolling
I wonder
backwards.
if he's gone to take a quick toilet break and it's just started to roll backwards a little bit.
Yeah, most likely. Daniel Francis there just taking a quick breather. But he's coming out and it looks like he's going to come out side by side with Smokey Devil. Smokey Devil's just going to grab him on the exit of the pits, and it looks like Smokey Devil's up into 9th place or second in class. These two are going to give it absolutely everything in this fight for P2 in the GTE category, but they're a long way behind this man, Sutty Apex, who's driven absolutely outstandingly tonight.
Keegs for me, Andy, has to be on the soft tyre. Has to be. That's why he's so much quicker than Mazda, I reckon.
Yeah, it's feasible that he is, but at this stage, it's difficult to tell. I guess we'll find out when they come into the pits. We'll see. Because if Keegs comes in and changes tyres, then we'll know that he's gone for a soft sim.
Yeah.
You know? But he will definitely need to change tyres again if he is on the softs. He can't, because he hasn't pitted since about the hour mark, so before the hour mark even. So
yeah, he's got one lap. He'll have to pit the end of this lap, I reckon. I don't think he'll be on. He needs to be around 10.5, 11 litres by the end of the lap. I don't think he'll be there as Sutty passes Stoffsloff as Stoffsloff is in the pits. Keep your eyes on that battle. Sutty could finish 6th overall in tonight's race.
Which is unbelievable when you consider he's in the GTEs.
Oh, yeah.
He's ahead of 2 LMP2 cars, but we are expecting that Stoffsloff should probably... I don't know actually, he might end up in front of him. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe not. Stoffsloff is off and on his way. But yeah, can't put anything past Sutty Apex. What a huge race he's driven tonight. Driving consistently under the 4-minute mark, which is the fastest of any of the GTE drivers. He looks like he's got that Corvette absolutely being dragged around this Le Mans track tonight.
And you know what? He's quite fortunate because Mazda was meant to be in the GTEs tonight, but Holty dropped out at the last moment, so Mazda took his LMP1 seat.
Right. So
Mazda could have been in the GTEs battling with Sutty.
The Mazda's actually had a bit less practice than the other guys in the LMP1s. Although admittedly he did get 24 hours of practice at Daytona back in December, but you know, a little bit out of practice plus. A lot of that race is just going to be a blur to him. It's not even going to have registered in his brain, I would imagine.
Jamie Brazy has just said, I believe Joe's got the AI in again. Now the AI is set to 50-55, so let's just have a look here. We could tell when Joe had the AI in last night because the AI, it was so...
5 seconds off the pace.
Just went on Dan Streams and Joe said something about the AI. I wonder if Joe's going to take a break then. I know he put the AI in last night, so maybe he's put the AI in again here for the final part of this race.
If you watch the wheel,
very steady,
very consistent and steady movement. Oh no, he is driving. Look.
Yeah, he surely has to be. That the AI wouldn't make the mistake there on a corner like that.
You wouldn't expect so. Let's keep watching it here. Looks very steady through there, nice and tidy. No, he's driving. He is driving.
Yeah, he's driving.
He's at the wheel.
No, Joe's driving, Jamie. Not the AI. Joe is still in the car.
Gap at the front now, over 7 seconds between Keegs and Mazda, and Keegs continues to play that gap. 3:25 last time around, but Keegs needs to come in at the end of this lap, and we'll be at the 30.
I think he's cut this short.
Mark. Will Keegs? The thing is though, you can go 9 laps in this car.
Yeah.
That Keegs is in, right? 36 minutes. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the end on his next
No, I think he's going to have to splash and dash at the end, isn't he?
He will have to splash and dash.
I don't think he's going to get to the end of this lap.
He should be able to get to the end of the lap. He might have to run it. He might have to run
lifting, bit of lifting, coasting. Yeah, it's going to be very close. Yeah, it's going to be very, very close, is it, for Keeg? So hopefully he can get the job done. Unless
the good thing about this track is that there aren't too many braking zones, so you can coast it quite comfortably. But Keeg's
you can lift and coast quite a lot as well, can't you? Through the Porsche Curves, it's a lot of lifting through there, so you could lift that little bit more.
You can. I'm just wondering if he puts on a fresh set of softs, runs the car on lean to the end of the race.
Well, they can't, can they? Because Mazda.
No, Keegs.
No, you can't, can they? Because it's default setup, so they can't change the fuel.
Well, you can't run it on lean, of course.
No.
Let's just work out Mazda, right? So he's got 31 litres in. How many laps can Mazda do in his car?
8, apparently, according to the...
8 laps?
Yeah.
So, what, he needs to come in probably in the next... 3 laps or so.
3 after this one, yeah.
So we'll be on about minute 27-ish, minute 26, 27. By the time he has to come in, he can do 8 laps. Oh, you know what? Mazda might not even make it to the end.
No, Mazda's got one more pit stop. Yeah,
Mazda might have to 2.
Do you reckon 2 stops?
Mazda might have to 2. He's into the wall!
Oh!
Mazda getting into the barrier, spinning it round. That's not going to help him at all.
No, it's not going to help him at all.
Well, I like that a bit. I don't know. I'm trying to work this out because he's going to have to come in on minute 27 maybe, right? 3.5 minute lap. He can do 8 laps in that car, you reckon? But 3.5 minute laps. If you work it out, right, 3.5 times 8 is 27.
So he's got to pit around the 20.
Depends on when he crosses the line.
Oh dear, this is going to be interesting. That hit wouldn't have helped. Where is Keegs? Because did he make it to the pits?
And plus, it's not actually 3.5 minutes. It's just under 3.5 minutes.
Yes, true. Yeah, no, Mazda's got to pit again. Keegs did make it to the pits, so he did just make it to the pits. Mazda will lead this race then from this moment. Oh, no, he had more than enough, to be fair, Keegs did. He had more than enough. But, yeah, so Keegs will go up to 70-odd litres of fuel.
Which will get him
9 laps. So if they're doing 3:25s, 3:26, let's say, times that by 9 for Keegs. Keegs will have to splash and dash, because that will get him 29 minutes 34 seconds, I reckon, at 3:26 every lap.
Well, Mazda hasn't filled up oh no, hold on. No, Keegs. Right, Keegs has filled up a full tank. He's got 66 litres of fuel in, so he will be good for
9 laps, because apparently this car gets it 9 laps for the Marek for Keegs. So
yeah, so he's not going to be able to. He won't be able to go to the end.
No, so he's got to. He'll be able to get 29 minutes out of this car. When Mazda pits, I mean, Mazda's got what, 2 laps left in him, 3 laps including this one. So 2 after this one left in him.
Yeah, I think Mazda's going to be close on fuel. You know, I'm not sure if he'll be able to get to the end.
So if Mazda does 3:26s for the next 10 laps, Mazda should be able to get to the end just on his next lot of fuel, provided he gets at least this and another lap out of his fuel. 10 laps will do him 32 minutes, 33 minutes exactly, should I say. So Mazda might just get to the end on one more stop. But it all depends on how long he's got to do. 2 or 3 laps on this stint now before he pits to get to the end. Otherwise, Mazda could be pitting on the penultimate lap for a quick top up the car and go sort of thing. I reckon Mazda's got 1 pit stop. I reckon they've both got 1 pit stop left. Mazda may have 2 at a push.
I tell you what, the thing is, it's going to be down to, as you said, exactly whether or not he can do 2 laps or 3 more laps. If he gets 2 more laps out of this after this one, he may have to come in for a splash and dash at the end. Touch and go. Yeah.
If he can get the 3rd lap in, I think he'll be comfortable. Oh, we've lost a runner. Oh, we've lost Daniel Francis. Oh, with half an hour remaining, we've lost Daniel Francis. He's done 2 hours 10 minutes, and how heartbreaking! Yeah, you'd want to go the distance at this stage of the race, but yeah, what a shame.
Champ in the comments mentioning that he's busy taking care of things to do with Champ mercenaries. Okay.
I think Team Prolapse are trying to. Oh, Mazda's in the wall.
Oh no.
Oh.
Mazda's having a bit of a capitulation here. What's going on? He's all over the place. He's putting it into the wall. He's got sideways. He's had to turn the car around, and now Keegs is within 30 seconds of him. This is kind of playing into the hands of Keegs. We were mentioning before, Mazda needs to get a few more laps out of his car. He needs to do at least a couple more laps here. But saying that though, we saw Keegs a few laps ago start his lap with 11 litres of fuel in the tank. Right, he finished that lap with about
3.
What was it? 3 litres of fuel. We know that his car is slightly less heavy on the fuel consumptions than Mazda is. So Mazda needs to get probably, well, he's got 20 litres of fuel. He needs to make sure that he uses no more than 10 litres of fuel on these next couple of laps. But he's got to, I think he's only going to do 2 more laps here, Matt, at best.
Yeah.
2 more laps.
He's got to be on just over 11 just out on 11 litres next lap. Mazda's struggling this final part of this race. We said Mazda gets better at the end, and he started to struggle. I think Mazda's. Oh, I don't know. Is he got to? Is he going to splash and dash? I'm struggling to work out here. He may have to splash and dash at the end here.
Yeah, I think so. It's looking increasingly like Mazda will have to come in again. He's obviously going to come in the next couple of laps, and then it's looking like he very much will have to come in right at the end, and possibly the last lap, maybe the penultimate lap. So Keegs currently sat in second, 27 seconds behind. Has only got to come in one more time at most. He's got plenty of fuel in the car for now. He will have to come in probably about I'd say minute 10 probably. He'll have to come in again. So 25 seconds behind. Keegs currently with in the box seat, I would say. Keegs is my definitely going to be my pick for the race win at this stage. It's not really a prediction. It's more of a hunch at this point.
I think Mazda's
idea of what's going to happen.
Mazda will win if he can make sure that his next lot of fuel gets him to the end. The other interesting battle is the LMP2 category. What's
Yeah,
going
and that
on
one is
there?
Still very open because Opar has actually pulled out a little bit of a gap, but Dan is now lapping quicker by the looks of it, looking at the board.
So Dan 24 litres in the tank. What's Ukbar got? 15.7. So they've at least got one pit stop each left. But this is now where Dan needs to do some quali laps here.
How long do the LMP2s go?
10 laps.
10 laps.
But
So-
obviously, Keegs has had a moment. Keegs has had a moment there.
Oh wow, so both of the LMP1 leaders here are struggling at this stage in the race. Possibly the tyres starting to go off a little bit. It's going to be interesting as to whether either of these guys do come in for a tyre change. I can't imagine they would, because they're both going to be going long in these current stints.
Yeah.
They've both been pushing their cars right until the end before coming in for a slash and dash. We believe each of them will need to come in for fuel again after Mazda's come in for his next stop. They'll have to both come in again. So yeah, that's the situation there. But Opar currently ahead of Unorthodox by 14 seconds at the moment, and with a little bit less fuel in the tank. So 14 litres of fuel. He goes 10 laps on a full tank, right? So that's about 7 litres a lap.
Yeah.
For Opar.
So what are these lapping? These lapping about 340s, 342s?
Opar's got a lap and a half left on this stint before he comes in. So he's going to be coming in around about minute 24, minute 23, 24.
I think Ukbar might pit this lap.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon he might be able to get one more in after this. He should be able to get one in, but he's definitely going to have to come in at around minute 24, 25, 24. I think it's going to be a bit of a push because he's going to have to do 10 laps. No, he should. Ukbar should get to the end on his next stint.
Ukbar and Dan will definitely get to the end. Dan will definitely get to the end because he's got a bit more fuel in the car than Ukbar. He's just now got to lap quicker. Yeah, these have got one more pit stop.
But as you say, obviously, with Ukbar having less in the tank, Dan's going to spend less time in the box, but not by much. Only 8 litres between them in terms of the fuel that's in their tanks right now. Yeah. So Dan's still got to push. It's going to be down to the tyres, I think.
If you was Dan, would you pit the same lap as Ukbar?
I would probably go a lot longer. I'd keep going until my fuel was running out.
Mazda's in the pits.
I'd keep the car going until the fuel was dry.
Until you're low, yeah.
Yeah.
Good night to Daniel Francis in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a part of the race. Mate, shame we lost you at the end, but night to you. So Mazda in the pits. So his car will get 8 laps. So he's lapping at, let's say he's lapping around the 3:26 mark. Times that by 8 laps. 26 minutes 8 seconds. I think Mazda's got to splash and dash here, you know.
He will definitely have to come in at the end. I'm pretty sure of that. And Keegs inherits the race lead with Mazda coming in. But
Keegs has got one firm stop. Sure. Yeah, Ukbar's coming now. So Ukbar hasn't done his extra lap. Ukbar's coming now. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter because he's got to come in anyway, and he can make it to the end comfortably. On a full tank from here. So Ukbar's in. He can obviously make it to the end on this current stint. Unorthodox is also in. So interestingly, you said that you asked me if you thought that Dan would come in on the same lap as Ukbar. I said if I was Dan, I wouldn't, but Dan obviously
has. Yeah, Dan obviously has came in. So interesting to see this now. Then this is interesting to see the battle. Ukbar versus Dan. I've loaded Dan's stream up. Let's just take a look if Dan is changing tyres. Let's make that a bit bigger in the bottom corner for you all to see. Dan is not changing his tyres, so it is just fuel for Dan on his final run. That's the question, isn't it? Dan's fuel. So Dan should be away now. Dan is away.
Ukbar did change his tyres.
Did he?
I believe. Because Dan is much closer. Look.
Yeah, he is. He's a lot closer. Interesting then. So has Dan's strategy paid off then? Did Ukbar change? Has Ukbar gone to the soft tyre, and maybe the soft tyre for a stint? Maybe the quicker tyre for a stint? If it works. Oh, interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've got 2 very fascinating battles at the front of LMP1 and the front of LMP2 here. This is going to be interesting down to the wire. It got last night really exciting around about this time where Monkey Boy caught Peaceful, and then as me and Kelly worked it out, Monkey Boy had splash a dash on the penultimate lap, coincidentally handing the race win to Peaceful by about 40 seconds in the end. But
we could see a similar situation tonight with Mazda.
Yeah, we could. This could be a very, very interesting battle between Mazda and Keegs and Ukbar and Unorthodox. Guys, don't go anywhere. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Plenty more events like this to come at the end of the season. Join us next week live 8 p.m. Wednesday night for the Pro-Am and Thursday night for the Pro Round. Imola was last year's season finale. It's now round 9 and the final chance for drivers to take double points. So even if they've not taken them yet, they've mandatory got to take them on Wednesday and Thursday night. So it's going to be in for an interesting night of racing, where we saw Gary, Andy, last season take his Pro Championship on the ironing board, if you remember rightly.
That was brilliant. I love that. That was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Where he's in power cut at home. For those who don't know, he had a power cut at home, raced to his brother-in-law's teammate Little Leach's and sat up on the ironing board in an armchair.
Got to give props to Little Leach, Brother of the Year award.
Oh, brother!
His big
hands
brother
down.
come round and race on his ironing board.
Yeah, hands down, race on his ironing board. What a guy!
Do you remember how bad the bandwidth was in their house? Because there were two of them racing.
Yeah.
Gary was lagging all over the place. We were saying, imagine if Gary disconnects in the last lap or something.
Oh, Mazda's hit the wall!
Oh no, Mazda's going all sorts
he's retired. Mazda's retired.
No way.
Mazda has retired from the race with 25 minutes to go. What has gone off there? Mazda has handed the win to Keegs. What has he done?
Give us a show, man. What?
What has Mazda done there?
Oh no, stick with it.
Oh, I need to text him.
Why?
What has happened there?
Why? Why would you do that?
We've been robbed of the race win for the overall class. It's now the battle between Ukbar and Unorthodox and for this race, or for
I think
the LMP2 race win.
Into the wall, and he's just seen red. He's thought that's it. That's my chances of the win. Out of the window, and he's just thought. In that moment, he's thought second is. He's thought the retirement is just as good as second place in Mazda's book. He's a born winner. He only wants to take the win. If he can't take the win, then it's not worth it for him.
Anybody in the chat, please tell us if an LMP2 car has finished overall third place, because that is what's going to happen tonight. We are guaranteed an LMP2 car on the podium in third place here. Ukbar and Unorthodox battling it out. The gap is 2.2 seconds between these two. These two are going to the end. Keegs has been handed the LMP1 and the overall race win in this one then. But this is between Ukbar
in fifth. Sati Apex in P5 in a GTE.
He's been stellar. He's been brilliant. And look at that. He matched Welchie and Stokes last lap. Matched
Incredible.
it. It's just he's been phenomenal.
Getting more confident. He's gaining confidence as the race goes on as well.
And he's done last night and he's done tonight on the wheel. So he is growing in confidence on that wheel.
And he was just dipping into the 4 minutes in the start of the race, and he is now 3:55s. He's comfortably under that 4 minute mark. And Sati's going from strength to strength. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he makes that step and decides to race on the wheel for the Pro Series next week in the GT3s. But he's just gaining confidence all the time as Sati Apex.
Morgan
he's on the Thrustmasters.
He's on the T150, yeah.
T150, oh wow, so that's a bit of a handful, that one.
He's on the old Gary special for the Le Mans race.
Motoring Morgan said in 2017 there was an LMP2 that was P2 overall. Okay.
Oh, fair enough.
Jackie Chan Racing. Is he making that up?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. If not, what a team name. But yeah, Keegs leading the overall race. It's the battle then between Ukbar and Unorthodox. Dan will never get on the podium. He might do. He might get on the podium, Kurt.
Champ saying that clearly Keegs had hired James Vowles to order Mazda to retire from the race.
Oh, I can't believe that. We've been robbed of the victory.
Yeah, we have. I think Keegs was going to get it because Mazda making that mistake, putting it into the wall, that pretty much spelt the end of his charge for the win. I believe that Keegs would have taken it, but at least we would have had a bit of suspense towards the end of the race. It would have been that not knowing what's going to happen and ultimately finding out. But Keegs, oh god, we didn't want to put the session. Goodness me, that was close. But yeah, Keegs currently controlling this race from out the front, doing an absolutely superb job. And it's going to get revenge on Mazda for the F1 race around Zandvoort, where he challenged Mazda to a race and expected to beat him hands down, and in the end, Mazda actually came out on top of him.
Mazda's left family reasons. I know something's been going on for Mazda's family, and obviously I've been very close to Mazda. I've known him 60 years. He used to live with me at one stage, and I know something that's happening with Mazda and his family. And his sister's just rang to about something, so that's why Mazda's retired the car. Shame he couldn't put the car in the pits and put the AI into it to get to the end. But obviously, family more important. So it's a shame we've been robbed of that victory, but that race at the end. But still, Mazda's got to battle.
Yeah, hopefully everything's all right with with Mazda. Fingers crossed. Unorthodox looks like he's got ahead of Oakbar though, up into P1 for the LMP2 class.
Oakbar's 7 seconds behind. Has Oakbar had a problem?
I'm not sure. He's dropped off the back of him a little bit, hasn't he? He's now 8 seconds behind him.
Yeah, he's well off the back. So has Oakbar made a mistake and we've been robbed of 2 class victories here? I don't believe it. Stealth Sloth in the pits. That's got to be for the final time of this race. Surely cementing Sutty's place ahead of an LMP2 car.
Yeah, he would think so. It's
10-second penalty for Stealth Sloth. He's well behind anyway. Sutty Apex, what a drive.
Oh, absolutely superb from Sutty. He hasn't put a foot wrong tonight, has he?
No, he's got Welshie gaining on the back of him here, look. Does Welshie have to pit again? That's an interesting one. Oh, we've lost Smoky Devil. Smoky Devil's retired. That was Smoky Devil flipping, and we've lost Smoky Devil, so we're down to 9 runners for the second night in a row. Hopefully these all 9 runners finish this. But Sutty, 17 litres of fuel. He's got to pit again. Splash and dash for Sutty?
Yeah, I reckon so. 17 litres, he's definitely got to come in.
What about Welshie?
Welshie...
He's got to pit again, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I reckon this could be an interesting battle to watch here. I reckon Sutty could beat these 2 LMP2s.
It's very much on the cards at the moment. If he can just keep doing what he's doing at the moment, he does need to. The thing is, though, surely Sutty will have to come in again. And he'd have to put a bit of fuel in. I would imagine he'd have to fill it up quite a bit, and he's just been past there. Is that
That's Welshie that's just gone past him for position.
Yeah.
But if Sutty's able to stay in front, Sutty may only have to top up a couple of litres of fuel, because that GTE car will get more out of its fuel than what the LMPs will, so may not have to top up as much as Welshie in the pits. I can't believe how we're seeing Sutty stick to the back of an LMP2 car at the moment, to be honest. It's doing well.
You saw the LMP2 go past him in a straight line there. I thought Sutty had quite some good strong pace earlier on in the race, but it looks like maybe it's
maybe better acceleration from the LMP2.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe Sutty had a bit of a compromise run coming out of that right hand at the end of the back straight. But yeah, he's currently dropping off the back of Welshie a little bit. We'll see whether or not he can bring himself back into that fight. But Welshie, as we know, needs to come in, and he'll also be longer in the pit lane, so he needs to put more fuel in the car just to get himself to the end of the race. Sutty doesn't need as much fuel. Obviously, the GTs don't burn anywhere near the amount of fuel that the LMPs run, so it will play into the hands of Sutty with the fuel strategy. But I suppose the question is now whether or not he's got that pace.
Smoky Devil retired from the race because he didn't have a reset button but was on his roof. Welshie into the pits. Welshie's got a lap of fuel left in that car, if you ask me. Well, okay.
Well, maybe 2 LMP2s, yeah.
Potentially 1 or 2 laps left in that car. Easily an extra one, though. Easily an extra one. But coming into the pits, this will be his last pit stop of the race. And Uckbar and Dan, that gap's 10 seconds now. So Dan putting in the better laps over Uckbar. Uckbar had a terrible last lap, a 3-minute 54 over the 3-minute 42 of Dan. I mean, Uckbar was in Sutty Apex territory lap time wise, look. Wow, yes. Really poor lap last lap for Uckbar.
All kind of gone up in smoke for Uckbar.
Yeah.
In the last couple of laps, him and Dan with very similar fuel loads. They did come in on the same lap, so that's going to explain that one. But yeah, it's currently 9 seconds at the moment between those two on the track, and they both need to come in for a... Well, actually, no, they can both go to the end of the race, but the tyres are going to definitely play a part in this, because I think Uckbar has slightly fresher tyres than Dan.
Well, we think Uckbar changed tyres, didn't we, on his last stop, so we reckon he's got fresh tyres. Oh, that's Stealth Sloth who's had a spin there.
Oh, no.
So that's going to compromise him even more in terms of gaining on Sutty Apex.
I think Uckbar only changed 2 tyres, because his pit stop was... He didn't lose as much time as you would expect him to, did he? He lost about maybe 10 seconds rather than the 20.
I wonder if he's changed 2 tyres on the pit strategy. Obviously, the guys can play with pit strategy all they want,
Maybe it was just
before
the
the
rear
race.
tyres that he changed.
Potentially, and I wonder if the fronts are just starting to go off in terms of turning into corner. Stoke-Sloth looks like he's really struggling in that LMP2 car.
Yeah,
What a
it
shame.
does, it is a shame, to be honest. And Welshie's kind of got to grips with it.
Yeah.
Over the last few laps, Welshie's lap times have started to come down, and you've seen him do a couple of laps under the 3-minute 50 mark. So he's clearly got way more potential than Sutty in terms of outright pace. But Sutty has driven the wheels off of that GTE car to be in a position where he might actually finish ahead of Welshie. But Welshie, if he can extract the best out of this LMP2 car, should easily be able to beat Sutty.
100%.
But that's not a realist. But realistically,
he's not going to do
Sutty
it like
looks
that.
very strong. Oh no, exactly. That is exactly what we're talking about there, Matt, and he's reset the car. But that's exactly what we're referring to, because Welshie has got the pace in that LMP2 car, but he just hasn't been able to keep it stuck down to the
stable.
track.
Yeah, he's not been able to keep it on the road. Sutty, we reckon's got to come in foremost up 10 litres. So yeah, he'll probably get one more lap out of that car. And he'll pit for the rest of the lap. Two men we've not spoke about a lot of in this one. They've had a quiet end to this race. Good old DJ Phil and KLF Kelly, regular commentator here and over at Motive, and DJ Phil, a regular racer at both as well. And what a job these two have done to go the full 2 hours 40. We've seen people obviously drop out, internet problems or no reset buttons, family issues, but these two guys, they've been on their own for such a long time, still giving it everything. It's just great to see. Good top effort from both these boys for getting to the end.
Yeah, they've done really well, and it's good to see that them persevering with it. Obviously, DJ Phil, guy who regularly turns out for both Simplay and for Motive, and he never gives up, does he?
No.
He keeps going. He's got that grit and determination. He'll be in there until the bitter end.
Yeah.
And likewise, Kelly always gives it a good go, and he's going to pick up an 8th place finish here in the overall standings for this one. So we're considering that 14 drivers started the race. That is solid going there for KLF and for DJ Phil, being in the position that he's currently in right now.
It's a podium in the GTE category for them as well, obviously, with Daniel Francis and Smokey Devil not finishing, them two finishing on the podium in the GTE category. Welsh will get in the podium in the LMP2 category after losing Nicky. This man's going to take the overall win. He's just cruising around at the minute. He's got the car in cruise control and he's taking his time. He doesn't want to flip it, especially if he's not got a reset button. He doesn't want to flip it. Yeah. If he's not got a reset button and he flips, could you imagine that? And Rabbit Joe, 5 minutes behind the leader, wins the race.
That would be pretty unbelievable, wouldn't it? If Rabbit Joe were to come around and win it. But you know, I wouldn't put it past it. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that all of 8 of the remaining drivers would drive past the stricken Keegs and wouldn't feel some kind of inclination to tip him over.
Yeah,
I just can't imagine that. I think somebody's going to drive past and just think, for God's sake, he's been winning the race by 5 minutes. How can we not?
No, I completely agree
that
with you.
Would, I mean, it would be, you know, in some ways, you know, like the the evil inside all of us would probably chuckle at it, but at the same time, it's you can't. You know, if I was driving past, I'd tip him over.
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, you would. He's driven too good a race. Sutty in the pits then. Oh, he's just hit a wall there. What is Keegs doing? Sutty's just come out the pits and he's just dropped behind Welshie. So, is that game over in terms of him beating Welshie? But he's still 58 seconds ahead of Stealth Sloth. He isn't going to catch, or shouldn't catch Welshie, provided Welshie keeps it on the track. But he could. Still a 6th place overall, beating an LMP2 car is a great achievement for this man, and this man has done absolute bits. We'll have to get a word with him at the end. But Stealth Sloth at the Porsche Curves. Sutty's at the beginning of his lap, coming towards the back straight. So what a job these guys have done. Sutty Apex in the GT, fantastic race. Unorthodox has that gap to 11 seconds now. Let's load him back up. We'll check his stream out, guys. Go and give him a like and subscribe to his channel as well.
Yeah, we've seen onboard footage in the corner for a few times. Let's go with a full face of cockpit camera here with Unorthodox as he's coming around the first sector of the lap here. He's got a 10 second of a gap back to Ugbo right now, and he's lapping quicker than the Flying Dutchman as well. So Unorthodox looks like out of the 2 former LMP2 champions of motive racing, they're going to win here in Simplay Motorsport's 2.4 hour Le Mans event. It looks like it's going to be Unorthodox coming out on top of Ogbar in this one, the more recent of the 2 champions. and it looks like he's going to prevail. These two, though, have really been pretty much nip and tuck throughout the course of this race, and unfortunately we were robbed of the LMP1 fight for the win due to Mazda having to get off for personal reasons, family reasons, and you have to respect that. Hopefully everything's okay there, but yeah, Unorthodox currently leading this LMP2 class by 12 seconds, and it looks like he's going to be able to bring this one home. Both of those two can go to the end, and we believe that Dan has got slightly
we believe Oakball's got the fresher tyres. Yeah,
Oakball's got fresher tyres, that's it.
Dan's pulled out 2 more seconds. He's up to 12 seconds ahead of Oakball at the moment, so he's doing business at the minute, is Dan.
Oakball's times are dropping off a little bit, I've noticed.
Fatigue kicking in, maybe, tyres going off. If he has changed 2 tyres like you said last time around, or his tyres just slowly getting worse. I've got Dan's stream up. The bonus with having Dan's stream up on my phone is I can see his Dan's tyre wear on the fronts. His front left is half worn. His front right's about a quarter worn, and then his rears look fairly new, to be fair. But what they don't look like they've got, massive amount of temperature. We're getting back. We're in the final 10 minutes, so we're at about 6 PM at night. So the sun's starting to set. Temperature's just dropping ever so slightly. So maybe that's what's happening with Bar. Worn tyres, maybe, if he changed 2, that are just starting to drop off, with the temperature just getting a bit cooler as we come into the final 10 minutes of this race.
Yeah, it could very well be that the temperature's just started to get a little bit, but I'm not sure. I mean, he's currently holding it at the moment. As we see Keys coming into the pits, this is what could have been an opportunity for Mazda.
Yeah, now looking at Keegs here, he's possibly got 1 lap of fuel. After another lap of fuel, it would have took him to just under 10 litres. I wouldn't have risked it. So Mazda then would have took the lead at this stage, but possibly with him having to pit with 1 lap. Yeah, with 1 lap to go. So it could have been an absolutely interesting fight of the 1 lap sort of shootout between the two. Would have been brilliant.
It would have been, but I think, you know what, I don't want to try and, I'm not just saying this to try and make Mazda feel better about this, but I genuinely think that
Keats would have had it. Yeah,
might have had it. Yeah, I think that especially because Mazda made a couple of mistakes just before he had to get off, which could have actually been down to what was going on in the background. You never know. Those mistakes could have been down to what was happening in his personal life, and maybe eventually had to pull the plug. So maybe we shouldn't read too much into those sort of mistakes that were coming into play just before we had to get off.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, isn't it? At the end of the day,
yeah, it's hard to say. But
all we know is that he's had to jump off for reasons that exceed the importance of something like this. We do this for fun at the end of the day. And,
of course.
And he's had to go and take care of something else. So.
And at the end of the day as well, he gave us plenty of entertainment and plenty of battles on the track. Rabbit Joe is a whole lap behind Keegs now. There he is, coming through the final corner. Keegs clearly taking it a bit easy here, clearly feeling that if I can waste a bit of time, maybe I'm not having to put as many laps on the board. Loopy Lug in the chat, Sooty for the win, I do believe. So Sooty said before he came live, that is his nephew. So a good evening to you. And you're cheering on your uncle. Well, he's winning in his category, as he's just unlapped himself from Keegs here. That's how slow Keegs is going at the minute. Is Keegs wanting to bring Joe back into this race, I wonder?
I'm not quite sure what Keegs is up to here.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Is he about to do some donuts, maybe, coming into the chicane? A bit early for donuts. I would imagine he'd try and do that on the final lap. Rather than,
yeah, I thought he'd want to keep his gap for a few donuts, was Keegs. I know he loves his donuts, but
maybe he's put the AI in.
Oh, potentially.
Has he put the AI in by accident? Possibly. Imagine if he'd done that with Mazda still out on the track. That would have been a heartbreak for Keegs. But yeah, I mean, he should be able to get around still in the lead as long as he requests his to take over. But it looks like he's got the AI on. To me, Matt.
I'm just listening to Dan's stream 1 second, Andy. He's just cruising. Kelly's just gave him the idea to do a lap in reverse. Keegs is just cruising with the sounds of it.
Alright. Okay, so he's taking it easy by the looks of it. Keegs is backed right off. We can hear a little bit of the conversation going on
Yeah.
in the drivers' party chat there. And, yeah, it sounds like he's being encouraged to do a few little show-offs.
He's flashing his lights for us now.
Yeah.
There is Rabbit Joe then, unlapping himself.
Yeah, currently P2 overall, Rabbit Joe, and second in the LMP1 category. But yeah, Keegs really rubbing it in, allowing his man in P2 to unlap himself. Probably just giving Rabbit Joe a taste of what he maybe couldn't have in this race. I wonder if he is going to drop it in reverse, maybe do a few donuts before the end of this race, Matt.
I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, Dan has just read the comment that I put in the stream saying, Matt's just put in the stream, what are you doing, Keegs? And Keegs just replied with, cruising, Matt, cruising. So he's clearly in cruise control mode, is Keegs. But what he can't do here is, Joe's unlapped himself now, so Joe's a coming for the race win, effectively. He's on the lead lap. So Keegs doesn't want to cruise too much here. He doesn't want to have done all that hard work and lose the race for Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe, though, will probably be keeping himself quiet and be pushing and pushing and pushing for to gain on Keegs. 5 minutes left.
It'll be amazing now. Imagine if Keegs' wheel just overheated right now. Or something like that.
Oh dear, don't. Ukbar, just looking at them times between Ukbar and Unorthodox. 22 seconds.
Yeah,
He's
Ukbar's
really
fallen
struggled.
off,
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't change tyres. They could be falling off the cliff potentially, because it looks like he's really lost so much grip in the last part of this race. And maybe it was down to the amount of fuel going into the car that just was the difference between Dan closing in a bit on the pit stops. But yeah, Ukbar falling backwards here at the end of this race. He will hopefully be able to get those tyres to the end. But yeah, it's been a horrible stint for Ukbar.
Potentially, Keegs in the chat. Can Joe hurry up? Is Keegs taunting with Joe? Is he toying with Joe here? Imagine if Keegs does this, messes up, and Joe wins this race. This will be absolutely fantastic. Keegs looks like he's got the pace going again now, though. So it looks like he's away as the sun is firmly setting here. 4 minutes left. So Keegs did a 4:13 last lap. He's coming to the end of this lap. We could be in then for the final lap of this race. And Joe's got 2 minutes 36 to get past him.
It depends. If Keegs drives a proper final lap, then we'll have two.
We'll have two more.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be the final lap, so that makes no sense what I just said there. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. If Keegs gives it everything, we'll have one more lap after this. If he doesn't,
then this will be the last one.
This will be the last lap. So this could be potentially the final lap of the race. We'll have to see what happens here. But take nothing away from Keegs' drive tonight. He's driven a fantastic race. They've all driven well. 2 hours 40 is not an easy task in one go. Like you said earlier, you know, at times people was putting the AI in the car at the Daytona race after 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Some drivers a couple of hours in, were putting the AI in for an hour, jumping back on for a couple of hours, having up, taking an hour break, you know. And there were a few nutcases who, like myself, who did a 7-8 hour stint and then went to bed for 3 hours, then went to work, then came back and finished off another 4 hour stint. So, you know, and then you had even more crazy people like Mazda sat at the rig for 24 hours straight, didn't move.
Yeah, I think Champ did 18 hours straight, didn't he? Something like that.
Champ did 18 hours. Dan did about 12 hours before he came off for the first bit.
Keegs
has stopped the car, yeah. So I wonder, maybe he's had a bit of a mechanical fault here. Is he trying to get that car going again? Is he going to call the AA and try and get that jump start?
Oh, he's just texted me to say, is there a cool down lap? No, so if you want to do donuts, hurry up, do a couple before you win the race, because you've stopped enough now. So this will be the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the end of this race. 2.4 ain't nothing compared to 17.5 hours, says Champ. Nah, it's nothing. But no, 17.5 hours. What a drive for Champ, you know. And at the end of the day as well, Andy, Champ was battling with Mazda after 17.5 hours, and it was a game of chicken of who went to sleep first. Yeah,
it was, and Champ ultimately blinked first in that one. Mazda wasn't going to be undone. There, it looks like Keegs is now backed right off, and he's slowed the car
he's
pretty much down to walking pace. Here he is. He's actually. Is he going to reverse around the last part?
No, I thought he was trying to do it. I feel like he was trying to do a donut there. He wants to be careful. Joe will be charging at him at the moment.
He's got it all in hand, I believe. I don't think he's going to be... Nothing's going to stop Keegs now. He's got 1 minute and 40. He's still got a bit of time on his hands to.
Where the
to
artificial
mess
light
it
looks
out.
like it's taking over as well. So it's all interesting from here. We'll have to get Keegs, we'll have to grab him in for a chat. We'll grab Unorthodox as well as Sooty, Apex, the 3 winners of the category. But for Keegs then, back to full speed down the straight.
Oh, bit of a sideways motion there as he came out of. Is that corner called Mulsanne? I'm sure it is.
I could, bar the Porsche Curves, I couldn't tell you what corner's what, and I didn't even know where the Porsche Curves was till yesterday. I knew they were somewhere on the track. I knew they were somewhere on track, but I didn't know where. Kelly had to tell me.
I've pretty much got sector 1, the first few corners, the big long straight,
Yeah.
the last part of the track, and that's pretty much the last couple of chicanes. That's all I've really got in terms of like descriptions. But Keegs is coming in towards the final part of this lap. He had a great battle with Mazda throughout the course of this one. He's been an absolute revelation in this LMP1 category tonight. Massive congratulations to Keegs. He's done a bit of showboating over the course of this final lap. But Matt, what can we say about this man? He has blown the opposition out of the water. Mazda unfortunately had to drop out, but he's driven superbly.
He's pushed and pushed and pushed all race, and he's led for a while. And then when him and Mazda had a great battle middle of this race, and what a battle it was between the two of them. And Keegs has just kept on going. He's kept his head. He's kept focused, and he's been absolutely fantastic in this race. Like I say, a bit of showboating at the end, but who doesn't showboat after a win like this? 2.5 hours. It's no half an hour sprint race. It's a monumentous thing in these cars on such a historic track as well.
He had a lead of 4 minutes before he started starting off as well.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. And look, even when he started to put his foot down, he's got a 2-minute lead, and he's just going to do us. We're not able to see it because the cameraman's not picking it up, but he's doing a donut while flashing his lights. On board we go. Keeg doing a donut for the fans. He's absolutely loving it. What you'd hate now is your engine to go bang.
I imagine that. Imagine the scenes.
But Keegs here has done absolute bits. We're just going to wait for Keegs to cross the line here. Is that him? Yeah, I think we're going to cross the line.
This is it. Oh no. He's going to take in every single moment.
He's doing a bit of a burnout now, is Keegs.
He wants to drink this in. He wants to enjoy every second that he can of this moment. And deservedly so as well.
Yeah.
When you consider the performance he's put in a hell of a shift. And he would have had to be really fighting for this if Mazda had stayed in the lobby, but
there'd have been no donuts had Mazda been in the lobby, would there? There'd have been none of this had Mazda stayed in. And there he goes, he crosses the line to take the win. What a job for Keegs. Top stuff for him, he's been absolutely brilliant. Just looking at Dan's stream, he's coming up to the Porsche Curves. So we are just awaiting the leader of the LMP2 category. I don't know if we can jump on board, Dan. Yeah, here he is, and he's coming into Porsche Curves now. Where's Sooty on track as well, just quickly? Is Sooty coming to the end?
Sooty's...
No, so Dan will finish. Yeah. So here comes the LMP2 champion at Motive. Final champion at Motive, should I say, in the LMP2 category. And he's going to take the LMP2 win tonight. Good strategy. Battle with Ukbar. Had a good battle on track with Ukbar and Nicky at one stage of this race. But he's flashing his lights as well. And there he is at the bottom of the screen. Dan Davis going to cross the line to win the LMP2 category. Big flash of the lights. No fancy donuts for him, but what a drive for Dan Davis. Unorthodox. Top stuff for him. And then Sooty Apex. Massive shout out to Sooty. He's got 50. He's only got. If Welsh has a big problem and is 7 seconds ahead. Rabbit Joe, well done for P2 overall. But yeah, Sooty Apex here. He's done a great job to beat one of the LMP2 cars. What a fantastic night for him.
He's already finished the race, Matt.
No, he's coming up to the line now. I think he's just cruising. I don't know what he's got in the fuel tank.
I'm not sure if he's finished the race already, because...
or is he doing something... I heard him just say on Dan's stream. Are they doing a bit of a formation over the line here? Is that Dan and Kelly? Is that Sooty and Kelly?
It
Yeah,
looks like
I think
it's
they're
Sutton Kenny, yeah.
Yeah,
look at
formation
that.
over the line. Bit of a flash of the lights, and the GTE boys cross the line in unison. That's nice to see. Sutty takes the GTE win ahead of an LMP2, so what a heck of a drive. We're going to take a very quick break, ladies and gents, and we'll be back in just a moment with a word from our 3 winners, so don't go anywhere.
Oh, I'm shattered.
I know, tell me about it.
I'm absolutely knackered.
Oh, lovely. Oh, got another flipping MRI scan booked. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Right, let's try and get these in for a quick chat. Just wait for this intro to finish. And then we are... Stealth Sloth, a 50-second penalty. You're taking a mick? Jeez.
Jeez.
It's absolutely crazy.
That must have been pits.
Yeah, has to be. We're back live then, welcome back. We have Keegs, our race winner, Rabbit Joe P2 overall, and then an LMP2 winner, Unorthodox, on the podium, the final step of the main podium as well. With Ukbar second in class, Welshi third in class. Sutty Apex takes the GTE victory and finishes 6th overall ahead of Stealth Sloth. KLF then in P8 with DJ Phil 9th. We lost Nicky, we lost Master, we lost Smoky Devil, we lost a few others. We joined in the party by the overall winner, Keegs. Evening, mate. You had a great battle with Master in that one, and it really went down to the wire, but you took it, and a bit of showboating at the end.
Yeah, thought I'd have a bit of fun, you know. Bit sad that Maz had to go, but I'm happy with the drive.
You were very disappointed, you were telling me earlier, about yesterday with your internet disconnecting. You felt like you could have won last night, but you've won tonight. Is redemption?
Yeah, well, the pace I've had, I reckon I could have won last night as well. But, you know, to have just a win tonight is pretty good.
Now we've got to pull you up on something. We've got to pull you up on something.
Oh.
We did catch a bit of corner cutting at one stage in the race.
Was that the last chicane?
The final chicane. We did see a bit of corner cutting.
Yes. Let's just ignore that. I had a few
It
problems there.
was only one Stoke Keeks, to be fair. We
I had a
didn't see
few
you do it
problems
again.
there. Yeah,
You-
I did have a few.
I think-
what I did say
I
on the
think
scene,
you
actually, I
need
said at the
a,
time. I did say at the time that I reckon maybe you had missed the breaking point and then gone through the gravel as a result. I didn't
Yeah, I
think you did
done
it
that.
intentionally. Like you weren't going. It's not like you were going flat out through the chicane.
I think he
You
should have a
were-
14-minute penalty.
What would a 14-minute penalty do, Dan?
14
Give you the
minutes.
race win?
Me behind him.
Put you second?
No, Joe was faking.
Well, well done, Keegs. Well done on your race win, overall and class victory. Dan, you're an LMP2 champion for a reason, but not only that, you're on the main podium.
Yeah, 24 hours of Le Mans. I did it on the actual stage, the proper nighttime to day race. But yeah, that was fun. Ukbar caught me out a little bit with tyre strategy, but yeah, I had to change mine.
Yeah, I was going to say, him and Nicky pitted for the softs. It's a shame we lost Nicky, because that battle could have been even more intense.
Yeah, Nicky sadly disconnected, and I stayed on the hard because everyone kept telling me the race before was like it was kind of pointless going on softs because the soft would burn out.
Yeah.
But Ukbar and Nicky went on softs, and I stayed on the hard, and they caught me so quickly. It was unreal. So then I quickly switched to the soft as quickly as I could, and then from that point it was just trying to bring that gap down to Ukbar.
Yeah,
Dan, I've got a question actually about you obviously had a rainbow on the back of your car for this race.
Oh.
Do
Yeah.
you feel like that having the rainbow helped you in this race? Did it propel you to bigger and better things? And is that
Well-
contract side also? I've got to ask you.
To be fair, I've been borrowing this car. This isn't my car. If Andy would know,
It's
my
hire-
car is
it's a hire
usually
car. It's a hire
my car is usually black and pink.
He
and,
did
well,
say,
that-
Andy did say at the start of the stream, he's not in his normal. I think he said the number of the
16.
car, number 16
Yeah,
car. Oh, he's
I
not in the normal
mentioned
number
that he was-
16 car.
I was saying he's driving a number 8, so is he going for half? Is this like a half measures or something tonight then? But
well, I borrowed this car off Ben Parkey actually, and he's left a little bit of a mess in the seat. To be fair, but
Ben,
but
come on.
no,
Yeah.
I thought he was quick at Le Mans last time, so I thought if I used his car, maybe things could help me out, and which it did, and yeah, so the lovely rainbow on the back of my car really helped.
Well done
brilliant
to
job
you.
tonight, mate.
Yeah, congrats on your LMP2 win. And Sooty Apex took a P2 last night, and he's got the win tonight on the wheel. Not only that, he's beaten an LMP2 car.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's quite a bit better than last night. The only thing is I've changed tyres twice, which last night I wouldn't have been able to do. Yeah, it was good. Good consistent laps on the wheel. More time on the wheel.
You nearly had Welshie. Did you feel at one stage you could have Welshie as well as Stowe Slough?
I wanted Chris. But I messed up my pit stop. I ended up putting 14 laps of fuel in, but I wanted to splash and dash.
Oh, brilliant!
So I quickly changed tyres. You know, so tyres to off.
Yeah.
And totally forgot about the fuel. And I could just see the fuel going. I was like, no, trying to tap it off. But yeah, I nearly had him.
Yeah, it was a good race. You had a good little battle with the two LMP2 cars at the end, and what a drive. Shame that people disconnected at the end, but it seemed a better race tonight than last night. You seemed to have a bit more of a fight.
It seemed to be good. I think it was mainly down to me being able to change tyres a bit more. I had two stints on the soft, so I was quite consistent. Whereas last night, if I'd have done that, I'd have been a lot further behind Jamie.
Yeah, no.
So, and I did. I just struggled on the hards. On the softs, the Corvette's a lot better.
Which is easily said than done. A win for yourself in this category. Going forward to next week, Imola, what can you three guys do?
Imola, yeah, we'll just see. Well, you know me, it depends what I'm on.
I was going to say, I guarantee you any money Sutty's going to be back on that pad.
I bet you any money Gary's bringing the ironing board out.
I was going to ask to Sutty, do you have the confidence now on the wheel going into the Pro Series?
I don't mind. I don't mind the wheel in the Pro Series. It's just the fact, like, I'm sort of down towards the bottom. It's coming. You've done 5
hours 20 minutes on the wheel now over 2 nights. So you know, if that's got to be confidence for the wheel.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just looking to try and bring the points gap down to Andy now.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I'm just hoping to stay in the Pro Series.
Oh, you're well in the Pro Series, Andy.
Survive. Well, I don't know, because I've missed the preparation now, haven't I? So.
You just want to go to Pro-Am, don't you, Andy?
Mate, no, I don't. I want to stay in the big boy league. I want to. Hopefully, I'm not going to be dropping down anytime soon. But,
we've got
nah,
Kelly.
You won't.
Kelly, nice to see you out on track instead of in the commentary box for Simplay Motorsport. How was that for you?
Yeah, good. Hang on a minute. Just 2 seconds. I'm just trying to squeeze. Oh, there it is. Yeah, got it. Yeah, I'm just squeezing my big book of excuses into the commentary box.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to open it. Yeah, page 1.
So page 1. Jason Plato taught you everything you know.
Yeah, and then I took a couple of tips from Matt Neon, crashed.
Oh!
Shots fired!
Right back at you, baby.
It was like a tennis match there, but the shortest tennis match you'll ever see. Serve, return, point to Kelly.
Smash. There we go. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was good. I was kind of determined that I was going to finish, and that was really my focus. I got close to Smokey for a while, and then I just kind of, as I say, I was just concentrating on keeping my head down and not binning it too much. And he kind of got away from me a bit, and then he, I think he ended up on his roof, did he, or something like that?
Yeah, ended up on his roof for no reset button. And the best thing is, only 2 laps behind Sooty Apex, the leader, who kind of cheated and had 2.5 hours in it last night, so already had an advantage over you. That's not bad going.
Yeah. We were chatting on a party all the way through, and yeah, it was good fun. I knew I wasn't going to get near the front unless there was going to be. Unless it was going to be retirements, and to be fair, I didn't want to come last, and I just wanted to finish the race. So, result, and to be on a podium, well, that's an extra result, and I can be a runner-up now. Oh yeah, I'm a runner-up,
like father, like son,
like father, like son. Yes, runners up, baby. Winning's overrated. Far overrated, this winning.
Well done to all the drivers on the track. Thanks you all for tuning in and watching. Andy, any final words from yourself?
Big thank you for having me. Well done to all the winners, and yes, great racing tonight. Make sure you join us next week for the GT3s coming back on Wednesday for Pro-Am. followed by pros on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday night indeed. Join us tomorrow night over at Motive Racing for the F1 Championship race round. Paul Ricard, where I myself will be taking to track and possibly spinning Dan Davis off once more. If he, that's if he leaves the door wide open. He couldn't have left it any more open last week, but we'll see what
I did
happens.
say to him,
But
we had a conversation about that, and I said to him he left the door open.
Yeah,
I did say.
Yeah.
Well, this time I'm going to put. We're changing the little cornering issue that we're having at the minute, so we're changing that up.
What was that racing line thing that was on, by the way? That was embarrassing. Honestly, I would be ashamed to even put that on
I forgot
the
to
internet.
turn it off.
I would be ashamed to post that.
I was using it for
racing line.
practice, and I forgot to turn it off.
That's all we've got time for, though. We'll be back next week, like Andy said, for the Pro and Pro-Am. Check out Motive Racing tomorrow night, where I'll be racing in the Pink Panther with Gary 131. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, good evening and good night.
I'm just calling to say I